Douluo, starting with a 9-curve vine dragon. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 76, The Arrogant Master and the Destitute Prince. The Continental Advanced Soul Master Elite competition is in full swing in the two empires, numerous kingdoms and principalities, and in all the major qualifying areas. The attention of local people is attracted by the grand events and fierce competitions during this period. Several unknown things happened. Someday the 12-year-old third prince of Xingluo, Daimyo Bei, set foot on the territory of the Bara Kingdom. A few days later, a village near Soto, a city that is quite famous locally. At the entrance of the village, an old man in his 60s was sitting behind a table. There was a long queue of more than 100 people in front of the table. All of them were parents who brought their children to register. In the dark of the village, a middle-aged man was observing secretly. With his unique melancholy temperament and stiff expression on his face, who else could it be but the master Yu Yuan? About a year ago, Yu Yuan felt that he would never be able to realize his ideals and ambitions if he stayed not in college, and the disciple who was supposed to have excellent qualifications never appeared. So he thought of Shrek Academy, founded by his old friend Flanders, hoping that he could find a qualified test subject there to verify his theory. Once this idea sprouted, it spread wildly and uncontrollably in Yu Yuan's mind, making him determined to leave not in college and go to Shrek College to find qualified test subjects. As the saying goes, there is hope in desperate situations. Yu Yuan, who was almost in despair, had extremely high expectations for Shrek Academy. It was his last hope. However, most of the time, the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. When Yu Yuan saw with his own eyes the Shrek Academy that his old friend Flanders praised so highly in the letter, he stood there in a daze, as if a basin of cold water had been poured on him, mercilessly extinguishing the fire of hope in his heart. The college is in a dilapidated environment, with only one talented student and a group of rogue teachers. The gap in his heart dealt a heavy blow to Yu Yuan in particular, when he learned from Flanders the previous second that the academy's only seedling was one with innate full soul power. A smile appeared on his face, thinking that he had found a qualified test subject, but the next second, he learned from Flanders that the only student was actually a food-type soul master. This made Yu Yuan's mood go up and down like a roller coaster. His physical fitness was not very good to begin with, and he almost fainted. Fortunately, Yu Yuan learned to release soul skills like his martial soul Luo Sanpao, taking the opportunity to straighten out his ki. Otherwise he would have really died young. But Yu Yuan didn't want to give up struggling and placed his hope on the students who came to register at Shrek Academy. However, the registration and enrollment period ended a few days before Yu Yuan arrived at Shrek Academy. Therefore, he had to wait patiently in Shrek Academy for a year. You are 12 years old, only level 21. Your talent is too poor. You are not worthy of my teaching. Yu Yuan hid in the dark, commenting on a prospective student who had just passed the first level of the test. Looking at these crooked melons and cracked dates in front of him, Yu Yuan sighed inwardly. He has accepted his fate and has lowered his demands again and again. As long as he was no older than 12 years old and his spirit power was no less than level 25, he would be qualified to become the disciple of his master, Yu Yuan. But the cruel reality made him feel that he was a bull, but he just couldn't find a real 1,000-mile horse. Will my theory of invincibility be buried with me in the long river of history, and never come true? Yu Yuan looked up at the sky with melancholy, his hands behind his back, standing there seemingly in a very graceful manner. However, before he could pretend for long, a scream from not far away attracted his attention. White Tiger Martial Spirit? This is. Yu Yuan looked at Daimyo Bei, who was at the front of the team. The conspicuous white tiger martial spirit made him immediately guess the identity of the man with devil pupils and golden hair. Why did someone from the Xingluo royal family come to a kingdom affiliated with the Sky Dou Empire? However, this person's soul power fluctuations are very strong, and it seems that they are not much weaker than mine. For a moment, Yu Yuan's brain was working rapidly, thinking about the situation in front of him. The Xingluo Empire's royal family has had a tradition since ancient times that when a prince inherits the throne, all other princes will have their cultivation abolished. Because of this cruel tradition of survival of the fittest, every prince of every generation of the Xingluo royal family has outstanding soul master talent. If I remember correctly, the current Grand Prince Davis of the Xingluo Empire is now 18 years old. As for this one in front of me, I don't know where he ranks among the princes of Xingluo, but since this prince has chosen to enroll at Shrek Academy, he should be no older than 12 years old. So, the 6-year age difference made this prince feel hopeless about defeating Davis, so he fled the Xingluo Empire in order to save his life, and while he was on the run, he heard about the information about Shrek Academy, so he planned to take a chance here. The more Yu Zhigang thought about it, the more excited he became. His own soul power cultivation is at the peak of level 29, while the soul power of the Xingluo prince in front of him is not much lower than his then. The soul power of the prince in front of him is either level 29 or level 28. At the age of 12, he has been able to cultivate to such a level, and he deserves the title of genius. Therefore, Yu Zhigang looked at Yu Bei with more and more satisfaction, muttering, "You have good talent and are qualified to be a practitioner of my theory. Moreover, if he defeats the great Prince Davis of Xingluo under my training and inherits the throne, then I will become the imperial teacher." Thinking of this, Yu Zhigang looked forward to the future, and the fire of hope that was about to go out in his heart was rekindled at the entrance of the village registration office. After Yu Bei displayed his soul ring, he successfully passed the first level, entered the village and headed towards the second level. Upon seeing this, Yu Zhigang quickly straightened his clothes and appearance, walked out from the darkness with an air of a self-righteous master, and then pretended to walk past Yu Bei casually. However, what Yu Zhigang didn't expect was that Yu Bei didn't even look at him and just walked past him without looking away. This made Yu Zhigang feel very embarrassed. But Yu Bei's arrogant attitude instead aroused his fighting spirit. In Yu Zhiagang's opinion, it is normal for a genius to be appropriately arrogant, but he will use his profound knowledge and invincible theories to conquer this arrogant genius and make him willingly call him teacher. Looking at Yu Bei's receding back, Yu Zhigang did not choose to chase him, but instead thought about how to set a perfect time for the encounter so that Yu Bei could inadvertently realize how powerful he was soon. Yu Zhigang had an idea. It's the first class of the new semester. This is a good opportunity. It seems that I have to ask Flanders for the position of chief teacher of Shrek Academy. When school starts tomorrow, I will give my disciple a little shock. End of this chapter. Chapter 77, Dragon and Snake Surrender. On the other side, Dugubo has also arrived at the family where the Geishi dragon snake couple lives. After a battle of wits and courage, the use of force, coercion and inducement, Dugubo successfully persuaded the Dragon Lord Mengshu and the Snake Lady Zhao Xiangxiang to submit to Lin Rong, Mr. Dugu, my husband and I still need to pack our things. Are you going to wait here for us to leave together? Or are you going to go ahead? As Mengshu spoke, he lowered his head and smelled the 2 Longyuan Xianxi pills in the jade bottle, and he couldn't stop smiling on his old face. On the opposite side, Dugubo watched this scene with his heart bleeding. If I had known earlier, I shouldn't have taken out only 1 pill at the beginning. As a result, this old man Mengshu tricked me into giving me more than 1 pill, but fortunately, I insisted that there were only 2 pills, so I was able to save the last of the 3 pills, but this kind of thing cannot be said out loud, so Dugubo could only smile and decline. I have some important things to attend to, so I won't bother you anymore. Goodbye. After Dugubo left, the snake woman looked at Xiangxiang and her old partner, and asked in confusion, "Old man, why did you believe Dugubo's lies that he only had 2 pills in his hand? 1 person can only take 3 Dragon Rhyme Immortal Ganoderma pills at most. It is almost obvious that Dugubo has 3 pills in his hand, since he has come here to recruit us on the orders of his master, and we want to take the last pill from him. How dare he refuse to give it to us? 3 pills, 1 for each of us, my husband and I, plus Yuan, old woman. That's wrong." Dragon Lord Mengshu twirled his beard and explained calmly, "We demanded it forcefully, and Dugubo had no choice but to give it to us because of his master's order, but, in the future, we will be subordinates of the same master as Dugubo. We will see each other every day. It will be bad if the relationship is damaged. You have to understand that Dugubo is a title Douluo after all, and I am only a soul Douluo. Even though our martial soul fusion skills allow us to temporarily rival the title Douluo, we still have to be in awe so as not to lose ourselves." After hearing this, Zhao Xiangxiang understood his wife's intention, so he looked at the 2 pills in the jade bottle and said, "There are only 2 pills of this medicine. 1 of them must be given to Yuan, the girl. As for the remaining 1, I'd better give it to you, the old man." "Who knows, Alice?" Mengshu sighed and refused. "Old woman, One pill is not enough for me to have a chance to break through to the title Douluo level, but you are different. My martial soul is a dragon-headed cane. The little bit of martial soul quality improved by this pill is not even icing on the cake, but your martial soul is the snake staff. This pill will improve the quality of your martial soul. It is no exaggeration to say that it is a timely help. If you take this pill, you may have a chance to cultivate to the Soul Douluo realm. By then, you and I will both be Soul Douluos, and the power of our dragon and snake combined attack will be able to rival that of a title Douluo at level 95. After saying this, Meng Shu saw that his wife was still a little hesitant, and added, "Don't worry, old lady. The master should still have this medicine. There will be a chance in the future. Don't hesitate." Time passes quickly when the Gai Shi Long Shi couple arrived at Yongdao City with their family. The Continental Advanced Soul Master Elite competition had already come to the end of the promotion round on the outskirts of Xiandao City, the royal hunting ground. This is a vast area with diverse terrain. It is used by royal family members for hunting and by the royal knights for training. Normally, no civilians are allowed to approach here, but every time the Continental High-Level Soul Master Elite competition reaches the promotion round, this place will be used as the venue for the promotion match. On the vast grassland, somewhere in a military camp, Lin Rong watched the soldiers of the Royal Knights patrolling around the military camp, thinking about how he could take control of this power in his own hands without bloodshed. As an elite force built by the royal family with all their efforts, the Royal Knights have a total of 50,000 people, and all of them are cavalry. The mounts they rode were not ordinary horses, but heavenly soul horses that possessed the blood of soul beasts. This type of horse itself has no attack power, but its extremely fast speed, super load-bearing capacity, and strong endurance make the Xiaotian horse the best choice for cavalry across the entire continent. In addition, every captain of the Royal Knights above 100 people is a soul master. The higher the rank, the higher the soul master's cultivation. There is no doubt that the Royal Knights are a trump card controlled by the Xiandao royal family. If you want to annihilate such an ace force, you will have to pay an extremely terrifying price. Furthermore, instead of annihilating the Royal Knights, it is better to control them in our own hands. Lin Rong thought so, just like Jinring Su thought so too. As long as Emperor Zhu dies from the mixed poison 7 colors, Zhu King, who inherits the throne as the crown prince, will be able to legitimately gain control of the Royal Knights. On the other hand, if all the members of the Zhu family died in the battle between Jinring Su and Tang San, the leader of the Royal Knights would most likely be able to control his own troops. Although the Royal Knights must obey the orders of the new emperor, who is elected by the 10 hereditary nobles, but they could also bet in advance that the nobles they supported would become strong contenders for the throne. If the nobles they bet on lose the competition, the leader of the knightly order in power may launch a rebellion and fight to the death in order to avoid being liquidated. It was written in the original novel that when Dugubo was being hunted by the Spirit Hall Elder, it was Prince Zuxing who led the army to force the Spirit Hall Elder to retreat. The location is outside Xiandao City, so the army led by Zhu Xing is very likely the Royal Knights. It seems that Zhu Yi is really good to his younger brother. The Royal Academy gave Zhu Xing full control, and even the command of the royal army was given to Zhu Xing. No wonder Zhu Xing dared to support Zhu Bang to compete with Zhu King. Zhu Yi's preference for his own brother is the reason why he is so fearless. Although Dugubo submitted to me, apart from the people present at the Tang sect that day, only the old fox Ning Fengzi had some guesses. The rest of the people don't know about this matter, and Dugubo is still a guest of the royal family on the surface. Perhaps I can start from this aspect and let Dugubo find Zhu Xing to ask about the Royal Knights indirectly. While Lin Rong was thinking, the old housekeeper quietly walked behind him and whispered in his ear, "Young master, the Gai Shi Long Shi couple has arrived at Yongdao City with their family. I have sent people to settle them. Are they here?" Lin Rong looked towards the direction of Xiandao City. It takes so long. It's slow to travel with a family. End of this chapter. Chapter 78 Retreat. Grandpa Yu, please send someone to tell the couple to stay here peacefully. I will tell them to do anything if there is anything. After hearing this, the old butler took the order and left. Now that the peerless dragon and snake has surrendered, Lin Rong should go and meet him, but he had no intention of meeting Meng Shu and Zhao Xiangxiang. If it was the old butler before he broke through to the title Douluo, Lin Rong would definitely go to meet the couple first, treat them with courtesy and show respect. But times are different now. Today, he has 2 title Douluo under him, the old butler and Dugubo. However, Meng Shu, who had the cultivation level of Soul Douluo, and Zhao Xiangxiang, who had the cultivation level of Soul Emperor, only touch the threshold of title Douluo with a martial arts fusion skill. Dragon and Snake attack, a martial soul fusion skill that cannot last for long, even if it can compete with a title Douluo for a short period of time, can ultimately not be compared with a genuine title Douluo, although there is still room for improvement in the couple's strength, at least for now. Their strength is not enough for Lin Rong to take them seriously, therefore, there was naturally no need for Lin Rong to make a special trip just to meet them. But if Meng Shu and Xiang are replaced by Yu Guan and Gimi, the situation will be completely different. If he succeeds in subduing Zhuhe and Xiaogang in the future, Lin Rong will of course go to meet them in person to show his respect for the two title Douluo. Not to mention, Yu Guan and Ji Yuimei are both title Douluo at level 95. If one of them is taken out individually, their strength is far beyond that of the current peerless Dragon and Snake. What's more, the martial soul fusion skill of Yu Guan and Gimi is the bipolar forbidden field, a magical skill of controlling the field whether in terms of rarity or practicality. Polar forbidden area is better than Dragon and Snake combined attack. In the original novel, the scene that best expresses the bipolar forbidden area is when hunting Xiao Wu. At that time, Zhu and Ghost Douluo used their spirit fusion skills to simultaneously immobilize the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape for a long time. If it weren't for Xiao Wu's sacrifice, the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape would have exploded recklessly and broken the shackles of the bipolar forbidden area ahead of time. Otherwise, the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape would be imprisoned in the polar forbidden area for a longer time. However, just as there are scenes with strong expressiveness in the bipolar forbidden area, there are naturally also scenes with weak expressiveness. Bibi Dong, the Empress of the Spirit Empire, led 6 title Douluo, including Zhu and Ji Yui, to hunt down the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape. Zhu and Ji Yui used the bipolar forbidden field to imprison the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape, and then they were attacked by Bibi Dong and the other 4 title Douluo. Even in this situation, the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape were not killed within the confinement time in the polar forbidden area. In this regard, the other 4 title Douluo are fine. After all, they don't even have names and are just there to make up the numbers. But Bibi Dong's soul power cultivation level is level 99, and the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape are still imprisoned in the bipolar forbidden area. As a result, we failed to kill them and instead gave them the chance to escape. Bibi Dong was unable to display her full strength due to the Rakshasa God's test, but some of whose strength is limited, but his soul skills are not. The 6th soul skill of the 2nd spirit, Spider Emperor, Eternal Creation, is a magical skill that can ignore physical defense and 50% of energy defense at the same time. The target hit by Eternal Creation will be inflicted with a negative effect similar to bleeding, and the wound will spread endlessly and cannot be recovered. If the bipolar forbidden area could imprison the Azure Bull Python and the Titan Giant Ape for as long as last time, they would not be able to escape from Bibi Dong's attack due to various needs here. The polar forbidden areas have been weakened beyond recognition. Moreover, the chase and escape between the two sides lasted for half a month, which allowed Tang San to arrive. Tang San used the trident blessed by the light of the sea god to kill Ghost Douluo in one move, which caused Chrysanthemum Douluo's status in the spirit hall to decline sharply after he lost his spirit fusion skill. At the end, even the exhausted Azure Bull Python and Titan Giant Ape willingly sacrificed themselves to Tang San. Thinking of this plot on the original novel, Lin Rong couldn't help but shake his head, thinking, the bipolar static field has been weakened so badly. However, with me here, this weird situation will never happen again. The Kiran Tongshan Chrysanthemum and Chrysanthemum Douluo's martial soul come from the same source, and the Narcissus Jade Muscle Bone is also a yin-attributed fairy-grade herb, which has a certain degree of compatibility with the Ghost Douluo's martial soul. In the future, if we subdue them and let them absorb these 2 immortal herbs, their spirit power will be able to break through to at least level 96. Zhu Douluo may even have the chance to break through to level 97. In this way, the power of the bipolar static field will be far stronger than the original, and it will become a powerful trump card in my hand. Day 2. The second round of qualifying for the Continental Advanced Soul Master Elite Tournament ended as scheduled. Lin's manor deep in the banyan forest. Lin Rong sat quietly under the banyan tree, closing his eyes and thinking about the next level of the Zisujing. 1 year and 8 months had passed since he broke through the realm of Yuan Tongguanzize. Over the past year, Lin Rong has never slacked off in his practice of the Zisa Sutra, but he has been unable to reach the realm of saving all living beings by appearing and hiding. It is recorded in the essentials of the Zisujing among the 4 realms. The two realms of saving all living beings by appearing and hiding and transcending the beginningless in a snap of a finger are very difficult to cultivate. Only when the practitioner's understanding of the mind reaches a certain level can there be hope of touching the bottleneck of these two realms. Only by touching the bottleneck can one be qualified to break through these two realms to achieve spiritual enlightenment. Even for the most talented person, it requires the baptism and accumulation of time and years, the sum of Lin Rong's ages in his previous life, and this life is less than 30. Because of this, his current spiritual level of understanding is not enough, so he is unable to reach the bottleneck of the realm of hiding and revealing to save all living beings. Looking back, his practice of the Zisou Jing has always been smooth. While still in the womb, Lin Rong used the innate fetal breathing to practice the Zisou Sutra to the level close to breaking through to empty mind and self-transformation of the body. After birth, at the age of 7 years and 5 months, he successfully broke through the Zisou Jing to the realm of empty mind and self-transformation of the body. 4 months later, he, who was less than 8 years old, absorbed the immortal herb Wangchuan Qiashulu, and with the help of its medicinal properties, he broke through the Zisou Jing to the next great realm of Yuan Tongguan Zizhe. In both of these realms, Lin Rong can be said to have taken shortcuts. The realm was broken through too quickly, although there is no such thing as an unstable foundation. However, because the breakthrough was too fast, his spiritual understanding was far lower than the average level of the same realm recorded in the Essentials of the Washing Marrow Sutra. In the current situation, it is indeed time to calm down and carefully appreciate everything in the world, so as to improve the perception of the spiritual level. End of this chapter. Chapter 79. Know Yourself. Since his martial soul awakened, Lin Rong has been either busy practicing or running around on various important plans. His mastery of his own soul skills, and because of the breakthrough of the empty mind and self-transformation of the body in the Washing Marrow Sutra, and his absolute control over himself in this state of mind, allowed him to use his soul skills to perfection without any further study. The same is true for the control of soul power and martial soul. Currently Lin Rong possesses 9 soul skills: the 4 Great Soul Ring and Soul Skills, Dragon Soul Awakening, Green Leaf Mark, Green River Shining in the Blue Sky, and Dragon Roaring Thunder Realm. The 4 Soul Bone Soul Skills, Rhythm of Life, Transplantation, Concealment in the Void, and Thunder Prison, Heavenly Punishment, and a major domain soul skill, Evil Breaking Dragon Roar. In addition, Lin Rong has another skill, Ring Fusion. Ring Fusion is not a skill, but a talent. Only extremely special soul masters can acquire the skill after awakening their martial souls. For example, the 7 Treasures Glazed Pagoda spirit has the innate skill of Ring Fusion, although the ability of Ring Fusion is quite useless to the 7 Treasures Glazed Pagoda. This is because the effect of the Fusion Ring is to instantly release all the soul power consumed by the Soul Master's soul rings when releasing soul skills. In short, one can burst out one's own soul power to the maximum extent in an instant, concentrated on one soul skill, and greatly increase the power of that soul skill. However, the first 6 soul skills of the 7 Treasures Glazed Pagoda all have fixed percentage attribute increases, which are limited by the martial soul. Even if the fusion ring is used, the amplification ratio of the soul skill will not increase. At most, the amplification time of the soul skill will be greatly extended. The only effect is that the fusion ring can greatly enhance the power of the 7th soul skill, the 7 Treasures True Body. However, using the fusion ring is equivalent to using all of one's soul skills, which consumes a lot of soul power. If the fusion ring is used on Kibaozan, the soul masters of the 700 Glazed Towers will not have much soul power to perform other amplifying soul skills. This is why every direct disciple of the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile sect confuse the rings, but few people know that the 7 Treasures Glazed Tile Pagoda has such an innate skill. For Lin Rong himself, at this stage, ring fusion is a very useless skill. Melt the ring. Melt the ring. As the name implies, the effect of fusion ring is only effective for soul ring and soul skills. Lin Rong's current 4 soul ring skills, Dragon Soul Awakening and Blue River Shining in the Blue Sky, are 2 pure amplification skills. The fusion ring works on these 2 soul skills. It cannot increase the amplification ratio, but can only extend the amplification time. The Kingai mark is quite special. Lin Rong has tried it before, but the fusion ring cannot increase the distance of space transmission among the 4 Great Soul Ring and soul skills. Only the Dragon Roar Thunder Realm is barely compatible with the fusion ring because the fusion ring simply increases the output of soul power. It cannot increase the amplification ratio of the Dragon Roar Thunder Realm, but only makes the coverage area of the barrier larger and more solid. The pure output skill that best suits the fusion ring. Lin Rong currently only has 1 soul bone skill, Thunder Prison, Heavenly Punishment, and cannot enjoy the blessing of the fusion ring at present. Lin Rong does not have many attack skills, only one, but he had never thought about creating any soul skills of his own, the so-called self-created soul skills. To put it simply, a kind of skill, which is a way for the soul master to use and develop his own abilities. Feng's Ocean's Wind Wolf /NZU's Full Moon were just not so sophisticated techniques developed based on the characteristics of their own martial spirits and combined with their own soul skills. This technique is only suitable for themselves. Even if they have the same martial soul, they cannot learn this technique if their soul skills are different. In the world of martial arts, these skills are so crude that they cannot even be considered the basic skills of martial arts. Even soul ring and soul bone skills, which are the products of the rules of heaven and earth, were not still defeated by the several unique skills recorded in the Tang Sect's Xuantian treasure records. If a little bit of superficial skills can be called original soul skills, then Lin Rong can fully control himself, and every move can be regarded as a self-created soul skill. In Lin Rong's opinion, the only three that can be called self-created soul skills are distraction control, Xiaotian 9 Wonders, and Great Sumeru Hammer. Everyone can learn distraction control. The 9 Wonders of Xiaotian and the Great Sumeru Hammer are not limited to hammers. Other weapons can also be used to unleash the power of this skill, but hammers are most suitable for it. Lin Rong once again felt sorry for Tang Chen. The 9 Clear Sky skills alone made the Clear Sky Hammer stand at the top of the world's weapon spirits. The Great Sumeru Hammer is the undisputed divine skill in this world. Such a brilliant man, if he was not destined to be Tang San's great-grandfather, he would have already become a god and lived happily together with Poseidon. In the original novel, the first-generation sea god claimed that he led the souls of Tang Chen and Poseidon to the realm of gods for resurrection, but with all the twists and turns involved, who knows whether it is true or false. Under the banyan tree, Lin Rong tried to control his own power without relying on the absolute control of his mind. Lin Rong has been practicing the Zisou Jing since he was a child, which has enabled him to have a high level of control over his own strength. Although he has not yet achieved absolute control over his own power through his mind, the experience of carefully manipulating power is something that his mind cannot give him in this state of mind. No external force can interfere with Lin Rong's state of mind. This also made it impossible for Lin Rong to experience the subtle and detailed feeling of controlling power. Now, Lin Rong needs to calm down and experience the changes in these things to improve his spiritual understanding, his own strength, his own martial spirit. These are things that Lin Rong needs to calm down and understand carefully. Understand yourself and experience everything by doing this two-pronged approach. Your spiritual level of understanding will gradually improve until the day when everything came to fruition. Lin Rong also touched the bottleneck of the third realm of the Zisou Jing, hidden and visible to save all living beings. The sky blue soul power flowed through Lin Rong's body, changing into various forms under his control: rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, cycling through the 12 zodiac signs. If one is in the right state of mind, doing all this would be a piece of cake, and it would only take a thought for Lin Rong. But that is the power of the state of mind, not Lin Rong's own. The power of his state of mind gave him the result but did not tell him the process. At this moment, Lin Rong was fully focused, carefully controlling the changes in his own soul power, condensing it into the form of the 12 zodiac signs. At first, Lin Rong was still a little lacking in strength, and the zodiac animals condensed by his soul power were not vivid enough. After practicing many times, Lin Rong was able to use his soul power to condense the images of the zodiac faster and faster, and the images became more vivid. It's a bit tiring. This is really a delicate job. Lin Rong wiped the sweat from his forehead and looked at the dragon-shaped zodiac in the palm of his hand. This was improved bit by bit based on the dragon soul of the 9-curved vine dragon. It looks much better than at the beginning, but still not as good as the one condensed in the state of mind. However, being able to achieve this level without using a state of mind gives me a small sense of accomplishment. This is the experience that the state of mind cannot give me. Ring fusion is not a skill, but a talent. This sentence was clearly written in the original novel when Ho Wu fought Tang San in the promotion match. It's not something I made up. Therefore, ring fusion is an innate skill that cannot be learned. End of this chapter. Chapter 80. Time and plan. It has been calm for some time recently, without any big splashes. There was no big movement in the spirit hall. Jin Ringsu was still in her dormant period, and Tang San was still developing rapidly. Even in the case of the theft in the Imperial Palace Treasury, in which the national treasure, the Hanhei Kyankin water cover, was lost, Emperor Ziyi chose to conceal the matter and conduct a secret investigation for the sake of the royal family's reputation. As for Lin Rong, the power in his hands has been initially formed, and everything is developing steadily and in an orderly manner ever since he had Duuluo and the Gai Shi Long Shi couple under his command. Lin Rong no longer had to do many things himself, but instead left them to them. As for Lin Rong himself, he devoted all his attention to practicing the SYNOPSIS Sutra and comprehending his soul, striving to break through to the realm of saving all living beings by appearing and hiding. Half a year passed in a flash one day. In the courtyard, Lin Rong is practicing multitasking. While engraving a seal with his hand, he is also using his mental power to do 6 things, including making tea and copying famous paintings on the side. The dragon soul of the 9-bend vine dragon was strolling leisurely in the courtyard, and from time to time it flew into the lotus pond to tease the koi. Suddenly, a swallow with cloud blue feathers flew into the courtyard. When the playing 9-twist vine dragon saw the spine-tailed swift, it flew up to it and took off the secret letter tied to its ankle. Afterwards, the 9-bend vine dragon flew into the bamboo pavilion and placed the secret letter on the table. After seeing the secret letter, Lin Rong did not stop engraving, but instead devoted more attention to using his mental power to control the secret letter and open it. Soon, Lin Rong finished reading the contents of the secret letter. Then, there was a flash of blue lightning, and the secret letter turned into ashes and dissipated in the air on the table. An unheld pen was writing something on the paper. After writing, the paper folded itself and floated in the claws of the 9-curved vine dragon. The 9-twist vine dragon flew obediently to the spine-tailed swift and stuffed the paper in its claws into the small mailbox at the swift's ankle. Seeing that something had been stuffed into the small mailbox again, the spine-tailed swift stopped licking its cloud blue feathers, flapped its wings, soared into the sky, and flew towards somewhere at an extremely fast speed. A quarter of an hour later, after Lin Rong carved the last character in the seal, he put down the carving knife in his hand. Tang San just broke through to level 30 yesterday, and Dai Mubei also broke through to level 30 today. The two happened less than a day apart. It's really fate. As he spoke, Lin Rong picked up the freshly brewed Phoenix Tank Tea and tasted it slowly. At this moment, Tang San is 10 years and 4 months old. Compared to the original novel's 12 years and 7 months when he broke through to level 30, this is 2 years and 3 months earlier. It seems that proper encouragement is still very effective. Jin Ringsu is still a soul king because she neglected to practice. According to her current practice progress, it will take another 1 or 2 years for her to break through to the Soul Emperor. In this way, according to Tang San's current training progress, in another 5 years, Tang San should have the strength to compete head-on with Jin Ringsu. That is to say, in about 5 years, it will be time to seize the Xian Dao throne. After drinking a cup of tea, Lin Rong poured himself another one and continued to taste it. Tang San broke through to level 30 more than 2 years earlier than in the original novel, but Dai Mubei broke through to level 30 at the age of 13 in the original novel, and he still broke through to level 30 at the age of 13. Now they are both 13 years old, which is just 1 or 2 months earlier than in the original book. The secret letter just mentioned that when Dai Mubei breaks through level 30 this time, Yu Zaigang will go with him to the starred out Great Forest to hunt souls, and only Flanders will be accompanying them. Lin Rong sipped his tea leisurely, thinking, the Star Forest is full of dangers. This is a good opportunity. It just so happens that I just achieved Soul Saint not long ago, which is the best time to implement that plan. 9 months ago, the preliminaries for the Continental Advanced Soul Master Elite Tournament were held at the Xiandao City Soul Fighting Arena. At that time, Xinian, as the vice president of Kanghu College, led a group of students from Kanghu College to participate in the competition. Lin Rong had originally planned to find time to subdue Xinian, and this time Xinian came to him on his own, saving him the trouble of running to Kanghu College to look for him. Xinian's martial spirit is called Kanmeng, a special martial spirit with substance but no form, which can produce all kinds of illusions. For ordinary spirit masters, especially those with weak mental strength, Xinian, who is vindictive, is definitely an extremely difficult and ruthless character. But after Lin Rong broke through the state of empty mind and self-transformation of body, the state of mind given to him by the SYNOPSIS Sutra allowed him to ignore all illusions and enchantment-like abilities. Therefore, all of Xinian's soul skills are ineffective against Lin Rong. With the old butler, the title Douluo, standing beside Lin Rong, the illusion that Xinian was proud of was ineffective on him. After weighing the pros and cons, Xinian decisively and sensibly chose to surrender to Lin Rong. At that time, Xinian was not yet a soul sage, but only a soul emperor of level 67. Lin Rong's plan requires Kanmeng's martial soul form Nightmare. In order to allow Xinian to break through to the soul saint level earlier, He generously took out a top-grade herb with psychedelic effects for Xinian to absorb. After absorbing the herbs, Xinian broke through to level 68 on the spot. 8 months later, Xinian finally broke through to level 70. Because the plan requires the nightmare to be as powerful as possible, Lin Rong asks Duuluo to take Xinian to the Sunset Forest to obtain the desired 7th soul ring. The original novel does not specify how old Xinian's 7th soul ring was, but this time, with the help of Duuluo, Xinian's 7th soul ring was taken from a 40,000-year-old demon eye tree. 40,000 years is the limit of most soul. Douluo's 8th soul ring. The spine-tailed swift swooped down from the clouds and flew into a house. The secret guard here took the paper from the small mailbox, opened it and read it quickly. Then destroyed the paper and turned and walked into a secret room. In the secret room, after hearing the secret guard's words, Xinian's heart was filled with shock. I never thought that the current Pope Bibidong actually had an affair with that famous master Yu Yuan. I never expected that the former Pope would do such a despicable thing. Nian showed a rare gossipy look, with a blazing fire in his eyes, and he imagined in his mind a love story of 2 men and 1 woman that subverted all other people's views. However, how did your excellency know about such a private matter? Moreover, the Lord wants me to use nightmares to make Yu Yuan recall the sweetest moments of his relationship with Bibidong in his sleep. In addition, I will create an illusion so that Yu Yuan can learn the truth about Bibidong's betrayal of him in the illusion. What is your purpose in asking me to do this? Nian couldn't figure it out and fell into deep thought. What is the purpose of letting Xinian do this? In the courtyard, under the bamboo pavilion, Lin Rong put down the teacup in his hand. The reason for doing so was naturally, the stronger the hatred in Bibidong's heart, the easier the Rakshasa divine test will be, and the faster the test will progress. But on the other hand, the stronger the love in Bibidong's heart, the more difficult the Rakshasa divine test will be, and the slower the progress of the divine test will be. In this world, there are only 3 people who Bibidong cares about, namely her first love Yu Yuan, her daughter Jinringsu, and her apprentice Hulina. Because of the hatred in her heart, Bibidong has never been able to recognize the love she has hidden for her daughter, although Bibidong also treats Hulina as her daughter. In essence, Hulina is just a substitute for Jinringsu. Only Yu Yuan, the first love that Bibidong met when she was just beginning to fall in love, occupies the most important place in her heart. Therefore, as long as Yu Yuan is willing to reconcile with Bibidong, whether Bibidong agrees or not, her love for Yu Yuan will inevitably be magnified. This unforgettable love will make it extremely difficult for Bibidong to make progress in the Rakshasa God test, and will greatly delay the time for Bibidong to inherit the Rakshasa God position. And this is exactly what Lin Rong wants to achieve. He didn't believe that after learning the truth of what happened that year, Yu Yuan would resist finding Bibidong to explain everything. Even if Yu Yuan could really hold back, he would let Xinian give Yu Yuan psychological hints in the illusion, constantly strengthening the idea of Yu Yuan going to find Bibidong. End of this chapter. Chapter 81. Tang Xiao's killing intention. The gate of Xiaotian sect. Tang Xiao was so angry that he lost his mind and swung his broad palm towards the face of the person in front of him. Snapped. A crisp slap was heard. Tang Xiao came back to his senses and looked at his sister, who was covering her cheek. He was suddenly filled with guilt and distress, and quickly apologized. Are you okay, Yu brother? I didn't mean it. No, big brother, you don't have to apologize. Tang Yuhu endured the pain on her face and said self-reproachfully, this is my fault. Ring explosion is a secret skill of our sect, but I passed the secret of ring explosion to an outsider. Even if I had my reasons and had to do this to save Xiao-sen, it is a fact that I stole the ring blasting training method from you, big brother, so, brother, you deserve to hit me. Hearing this, and looking at his sister's self-blaming expression, Tang Xiao transferred all his anger to Lin Rong. When Tang Yuho saw her elder brother like this, she felt mixed emotions. Originally, she just went back to Xiaotian sect to deliver daily necessities to the sect as usual. Unexpectedly, just as she was about to leave, her elder brother Tang Xiao mentioned unintentionally, Yuho, what do you think after seeing the ring explosion? Tell me. It would be better if she didn't ask. Tang Yuho could still pretend nothing happened and continue to conceal it, but when asked this question, Tang Yuho felt guilty. Her speech was unclear and her words were evasive, which made Tang Xiao see the problem at once. Under Tang Xiao's repeated questioning, Tang Yuho had no choice but to reveal the truth about the ring explosion. After Tang Xiao heard the cause, process and result of the whole incident, anger instantly surged in his heart. and the scene of him slapping Tang Yuho just now appeared in his mind. The burning pain on her face forced Tang Yuho to use the power of her domain to soothe the pain. After a while, Tang Yuho felt better and asked Tang Xiao, "Brother, now that you know this, what are you going to do?" After hearing his sister ask a question, Tang Xiao, who was silent, uttered one word, "Kill." Tang Xiao was filled with murderous intent. He looked at his sister and said in a deep voice, "The secret of the ring explosion is the secret of our sect and must not be mastered by any outsider. It doesn't matter if there is a titled Douluo guarding him. If he steals the secret technique of my sect's ring explosion, he must be dead." It's not easy to do it in Xiandao City, but he will go out to hunt spirit rings one day. Yuhua, you need to keep an eye on his every move. If he makes any move to leave Xiandao City, notify me immediately. At that time, I will announce that I will be in seclusion, and then secretly go down the mountain without telling the elders, and get rid of him myself. So, Yuhua, you don't have to blame yourself too much. As long as he is dead, it's as if this incident never happened. After hearing this, Tang Yuho felt much better, but she still asked with some concern, "Brother, although the housekeeper of the Lin family has just broken through to the title Douluo not long ago, he is definitely not your opponent in terms of strength, but what if that butler uses the explosive ring to kill you and me, brother?" Tang Xiao felt warmed when he saw his sister caring about his safety. In order to reassure his sister, he explained, "Don't worry, not everyone can successfully practice the ring explosion. To practice the ring explosion, one needs to have a very high talent. Although I am not as good as my second brother, I am also a genius. If I continue to practice for a dozen years, I will have the hope of breaking through to level 97 of soul power. But even a genius like me only has the talent to reach the threshold of practicing the explosive ring. An old man who is lucky enough to break through to the title Douluo level has no chance of successfully practicing the ring explosion." After saying that, Tang Xiao thought about what his sister said and then thought of something else. "But now that you mention it, it's not safe for me to be alone. If that butler fights me desperately, there is still a chance that the boy will escape. In this way, I can let old guy Titan work with me. I failed to protect Xiao-san, which can be regarded as a way for him to atone for his sins. Then I will take care of the Lin family steward, and Titan will be responsible for catching that brat. This way, there will be no risk of any mistakes." Tang Xiao said these words with such confidence that Tang Yuho completely put aside her worries. The brother and sister chatted for a while longer, and then Tang Yuho calmed down and left Xiaotian Sect's Star Forest at night. In an open space somewhere in the tent, Yu Zaigang and Flanders were sleeping soundly outside the tent. Daimyo Bei sat there keeping watch. His soul power was only level 30 and he hadn't obtained the third soul ring yet, so he couldn't find Xiaotian hiding in the tree at all. If that miser Flanders is on guard at night, it will be hard for me to take action. That guy's martial spirit is a four-eyed owl, with extremely strong night vision and higher spirit power than mine. With him on guard at night, it's hard to attack without anyone noticing, but unfortunately, the person keeping watch is just a quasi-soul lord. The Kanmang martial spirit was activated, weaving an illusion and pulling Daimyo Bei, who is on guard, into it and causing him to sink. Xiaotian originally wanted to weave an illusion of mental torture to make Daimyo Bei sink, but before taking action, he remembered Lin Rong's instructions that this action must not let anyone know that he had attacked Yu Zaigang. So, taking this into consideration, Xiaotian reluctantly weaved a beautiful dream to make Daimyo Bei fall into deep sleep. After dealing with the night watchman, Xiaotian silently used his 7th soul skill Nightmare to avoid Flanders in the tent and pulled only Yu Zaigang into the nightmare. Xiao Gang, this is the library of the Spirit Hall, which houses almost all the literature on the continent. Bibi Dong, who was in her teens, had a youthful glow on her face. She held Yu Zaigang's hand, and her tone was full of encouragement and support. "With these documents, your theoretical research will surely proceed smoothly. Xiao Gang, I am waiting for the day when you become famous throughout the world." At the same time, Bibi Dong silently added, "Wait for the day when you muster up the courage to confess your love to me, and then we can be together legitimately, forever, and never separate." Yu Zaigang stared blankly at the familiar yet hateful face in front of him, not knowing what to say. This was the most beautiful memory in his life, and he hadn't dreamed of it for a long, long time, and many more. Yu Zaigang heard Bibi Dong's unspoken inner thoughts, pulled his hand out of Bibi Dong's hand, His face was ferocious and complicated, and he roared, "No, no, in my memory, Bibi Dong never said this. This is fake, it's fake, it was Bibi Dong who deliberately lured me into studying martial arts theory, and then stole my research results and ruthlessly abandoned me in the end. This is the fact, this is the truth." Ripples appeared in the surrounding space and the scene changed, but before the next scene appeared, Yu Xiaogang was on the verge of sudden death because his mind could not bear it anymore. Fuck, what a waste. Shi Nian sensed Yu Xiaogang's physical condition, cursed in his heart, and reluctantly cancelled the nightmare he had released on Yu Xiaogang, turned around and left. This was a long-term task, and Shi Nian did not expect to complete it in one go, but he didn't expect that Yu Xiaogang was not only a waste, but also had terrible physical fitness. After all, he was a level 29 Great Soul Master, but his physical condition was so poor that even a slight emotional fluctuation almost caused him to die suddenly. A useless martial spirit, a useless spirit master. I really don't know how such a person could attract the current pope and that crazy woman from the Horn of Slaughter one after another, without the nightmare. Yu Xiaogang woke up directly from his sleep, his whole body drenched in sweat and sticky on the side. Flanders, who was sleeping soundly, was awakened by the noise made by Yu Xiaogang. After getting up and confirming that his old friend was just having a nightmare, he fell asleep again. After taking a few breaths, Yu Xiaogang lay down again, looking at the top of the tent with a complicated expression, wondering what he was thinking. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 82, Dragon Soul Clone. Time flies. On this day, a powerful soul energy burst out from Lin Rong's body. At the age of 10 and 7 days, my soul power broke through to level 50. This was a few days later than I expected. Lin Rong was somewhat dissatisfied with the time it took him to break through level 50, but he soon felt relieved. Never mind, I was just a few days late and failed to achieve a breakthrough on my 10th birthday. It's no big deal. Now that my soul power has broken through level 50, it's time to go to the starred out Great Forest to obtain the 5th soul ring. Lin Rong acted quickly, breaking through in the evening of that day, and leaving Xiandao City in a carriage with the old butler early the next morning. At the same time, on the top floor of Yuxuan, Tang Yuho received a message from a spy, and learned that Lin Rong and his butler had left Xiandao City and were suspected to be heading towards the Xingdao Great Forest. Break through level 30? So fast. Tang Yuho was very surprised and couldn't help but compare Lin Rong with her nephew Tang Sen in her mind as the only heir to the hereditary dukedom of the Dou Empire. Most of the prominent figures in Xiandao City attended Lin Rong's full moon banquet, and Tang Yuho was no exception. Therefore, Lin Rong's exact age is no secret among the nobles of Xiandao City. He is only 10 years and 7 days old. He broke through to level 34 months earlier than Xiao-sen. Big brother is right. We have already made enemies with such a horrible talent, so we must nip it in the bud. At the Tang clan banquet, Tang Sen was defeated by Lin Rong. At that time, Tang Sen was a great soul master. In Tang Yuho's opinion, Lin Rong must have been a great soul master at that time as well, and Lin Rong's breakthrough this time was from a great soul master to a quasi-soul master. As for higher levels of soul power cultivation, Tang Yuho had never thought about that due to the limitations of her own knowledge. No, I have to go back to the sect immediately to inform my eldest brother. Tang Yuho stood up in a hurry, and before leaving, she instructed her confidant, Master Ode, go to Tangman and inform Titan that the time has come and it's time to act. Half a month later, deep in the Star Forest, in a swamp wetland, a green lotus flower fell on the swamp next to him. Lin Rong sat on the dragon soul, absorbing a deep black soul ring. This 10,000-year soul ring came from King Mu Twin Lotus, whose cultivation level was 33,381 years old. The soul rings grant soul masters a variety of soul skills. Among them, the weapon spirit has a top-grade spirit skill called the weapon spirit clone. After performing this skill, another weapon spirit that is exactly the same as the soul master's own weapon spirit can be released for use. Moreover, the other weapon spirit differentiated from the weapon spirit clone can also use spirit skills. It is equivalent to an alternative twin martial spirit, and can be used at the same time. The spirit skill of weapon soul clone appears on the 10-year spirit ring. The differentiated weapon spirit has only 30% of the power of the original spirit. A 100-year spirit ring is 50%, a 1,000-year spirit ring is 70%, and a 10,000-year spirit ring is 100%. If it is a 100,000-year spirit ring, then it is 200%. Only a very small number of soul beasts have the chance to produce such a top-notch soul skill. For example, there are few rare soul beasts such as the two-headed snake and the twin flowers. The more compatible the target soul beast is with a martial soul, the higher the probability that the soul ring will have the soul skill of weapon soul clone. This greenwood lotus is a soul beast with both water and wood attributes, which perfectly matches the attributes of the 9-curved vine dragon. Therefore, this soul ring has a high probability of granting Lin Rong the soul skills of an instrument soul clone. Here, Lin Rong is absorbing the soul ring. On the other side, Tang Xiao and Titan finally arrived at the starred out Great Forest. The starred out Great Forest is extremely vast, and Tang Xiao can only judge the approximate range of Lin Rong's entry into the starred out Great Forest from the carriage parked in the nearby town. As for Lin Rong's exact location, Tang Xiao could only guess in his mind. Level 30 requires a 1,000-year spirit ring, so they are at most somewhere outside the starred out Great Forest. It is impossible for them to go deep into the inner area of the starred out Great Forest, but even the outer area is very large. If we go in now, we will probably not find it. Forget it. If that's the case, then we won't go in to look for them. We'll just stay here and wait for them to come out. So, Tang Xiao found a place to hide by himself without explaining any reason to Titan, which made Titan feel very depressed. But since he couldn't beat the opponent with his fists, Titan could only suppress his temper and found a place to hide without saying a word. An hour later, the swamp wetland deep in the star forest, Lin Rong completed the absorption of the first 10,000-year soul ring in his life. As soon as he absorbed the soul ring, Lin Rong checked the soul skills bestowed upon him by the 5th soul ring, and a satisfied smile immediately broke out on his face. The soul skill that this greenwood twin lotus soul ring gave him was the weapon soul clone. However, Lin Rong's martial soul is the 9-curved vine dragon, so this soul skill should be called Dragon Soul Clone. The effect of its soul skill is to differentiate into another 9-curved vine dragon martial soul, which has 100% of the power of the original martial soul and can perform all soul skills except the 5th soul skill. Very good. The 5th soul skill is just as I expected. Lin Rong put away the soul ring under his feet, and the 2 soul bones held in the claws of the 9-curved vine dragon floated in front of him. I didn't expect my luck to be so good. The greenwood twin lotus actually exploded with 2 soul bones. This is a rare probability that only BB Dong encountered once in the original novel. However, the 2 soul bones of BB Dong were dropped by the 100,000-year-old Spider Emperor. A 100,000-year soul ring is bound to drop a soul bone, and a 10,000-year-old soul beast, even a 99,999-year-old soul beast, may not necessarily produce soul bones. This greenwood twin lotus is only a soul beast of more than 33,000 years old. The probability of it dropping 2 soul bones at the same time is much lower than the probability of a soul beast of 100,000 years old dropping 2 soul bones at the same time. There were 2 soul bones floating in front of Lin Rong. One was the left leg bone and the other was the right leg bone. In terms of soul bones, Lin Rong already has a left leg bone dropped by the Thundering Hell Vine, and the right leg bone has also been reserved from the 100,000 years Blue Silver Emperor. Therefore, even if Lin Rong did not mind the mere 30,000 years of age of this right leg bone, he would not absorb it at the same time. Lin Rong would not give these 2 soul bones to Grandpa Yu. He did not ask for Grandpa Yu to be equipped with 600,000-year-old soul bones throughout his body, but at least each soul bone could not be less than 50,000 years old, so as to be worthy of Grandpa Yu's loyalty and dedication. As for who should these 2 soul bones be given to, Lin Rong was thinking, who should I give it to? Logically speaking, these 2 soul bones are most suitable for the owner of a plant-type martial soul, but now, although there are many spirit masters with plant-type martial spirits under my command, no one is qualified to be worthy of these 2 spirit bones. Perhaps we can use these 2 soul bones to win over the Zhi family and the Dou family, and take the relationship between our 3 families to a new level. Or, after we subdue Yu Yuan in the future, we can use these 2 soul bones to make a big promise, so that Yu Yuan will be more motivated to do things. Lin Rong weighed the pros and cons and put away the 2 soul bones, intending to deal with them later. Then, he turned to the old butler behind him and said, Grandpa Yu, get ready for battle. There may be a surprise waiting for us at the entrance of the Star Forest. We have been planning for so long. It's time to show our fangs and perform a show of killing a chicken to scare the monkeys for some people to see. End of this chapter. Chapter 83, War, on the verge of breaking out. This swamp wetland is deep in the Star Forest, far away from the entrance they came in from. However, as Lin Rong broke through to the Soul King level, the range of his life perception increased dramatically again. The area on the edge of the starred out Great Forest is exactly the limit of what Lin Rong can currently perceive. Lin Rong recognized one of the two auras in the life perception. It was from that old guy Titan. Lin Rong could also guess the other one. The martial spirit aura of the clear sky hammer is far stronger than the Titan's soul power fluctuations and strong and stable vitality. One of the two brothers of the Tang family, Tang Hao, meets the first two conditions, but as he is seriously injured, it is impossible for his life fluctuations to be so strong and stable. Therefore, the only person who meets all three conditions at the same time is Tang Xiao, Grandpa. When the time comes, you will be able to deal with Tang Xiao. As for that old guy Titan, you can leave him to me without any worries. After saying that, Lin Rong saw the worried look on the old housekeeper's face and added, "Don't worry, my current strength is more than enough to protect myself even if I can't defeat Titan. Besides, a soul Douluo who only has strength but no speed can't hurt me at all." After hearing this, the old butler didn't say anything more, but secretly made up his mind that no matter what the situation was, he must protect the young master. The 9-curved vine dragon carried Lin Rong and the old butler all the way out of the forest without any intention of concealing its breath along the way. All the soul beasts they encountered were afraid of the pressure released by the old butler, and none of them dared to step forward to stop him. About an hour and a half later, coming, Tang Xiao opened his eyes and looked forward. His originally disdainful expression gradually became solemn. "This level of pressure is much stronger than mine. This is troublesome. I should have called my second brother over earlier." On the side, Titan's focus was not on the familiar and suffocating pressure, but on the other party's posture, as if he knew that they were ambushing here. But how is this possible? Before Titan could figure out the problem, Lin Rong's Vine Dragon Domain covered the area. The second stage of Vine Dragon Domain, all attributes of your team are increased by 20%, and all attributes of the enemy are weakened by 20%. Immediately afterwards, two moon-white cold rays shot towards the places where Tang Xiao and Titan were hiding. In just a moment, Tang Xiao and Titan recognized that this was an instant soul skill with a locking nature. They had no way of avoiding it and could only take it. Therefore, they released their martial spirits instantly and used their spirit skills to resist before the moon-white cold light could hit them. Frost Moon Starlight is only the old butler's third soul skill, and this time he used it just to force Tang Xiao and Titan out. Therefore, these two cold rays did not hurt Tang Xiao and Titan, but only made the Titan, who is the weakest among the two, look a little embarrassed. After receiving the cold light, Tang Xiao walked out of the darkness, looked at the direction where the cold light was emitted, and his eyes widened instantly. 5-ring Soul King. A 10-year-old 5-ring Soul King. After just a moment of surprise, a strong murderous intent burst out from Tang Xiao's eyes. "Today, no matter what the cost, I must keep you here, Titan. Follow the original plan." Although all attributes were weakened by 20% by the talent field, Tang Xiao was confident enough in the clear sky hammer spirit. It should be said that he was confident enough in the two unique skills, the 9 secrets of Xiaotian and the great Sumeru hammer. Even if all his attributes were weakened by 20%, he was still able to tie with the old man in front of him whose soul power was slightly stronger than his. "Young master, be careful." The old butler said this quickly and released his martial spirit to stop Tang Xiao, who was moving forward. 100,000-year soul ring. When Tang Xiao saw the 9th blood red soul ring under the old butler, his heart sank again. Now, he no longer sought to fight the old man to draw, but only hoped to delay a little longer so that Titan could get rid of Lin Rong. Therefore, Tang Xiao directly activated his 7th soul skill, Xiaotian True Body. He held a huge Xiaotian hammer in his hand. The 6th soul ring lit up, and swung the giant hammer to smash the old housekeeper. Upon seeing this, the old butler did not hesitate and directly activated his 7th soul skill, Star True Body. At the same time, the 5th soul ring on his body lit up, and the 9 brightest stars in the starry sky turned into a defensive light shield, successfully blocking the attack of Tang Xiao. Xiaotian's 6th soul skill in his true body state. "You blocked it so easily, a defensive spirit master. Then try this." Xiaotian 9 absolutes, Zhen character technique. Tang Xiao roared, wielding the clear sky hammer in his hand with a unique force technique, smashing towards the starlight shield again on the other side of the battlefield after being possessed by the spirit. Titan, who is like a giant chimpanzee, looked at Lin Rong standing on the blue dragon in the sky, and couldn't help cursing in his heart. Damn. As I recall, the dragon soul vine must break through to the 7th ring soul saint before the dragon soul can leave the body. How come this kid can do it at the 5th ring? Could it be a mutant martial soul, Feng? So high, even if I use my martial soul body, this height is beyond the effective range of all my soul skills. High. In the air Lin Rong stood high above, looking down at the Titan on the ground. Any soul master, no matter how peace-loving he is, will inevitably have blood on his hands, but I didn't expect that the first blood of my kind that came to my hands would be from a soul Douluo. Lin Rong spoke calmly, and except for the 2nd soul ring, the other 4 soul rings on his body lit up one after another. 2 9-curved vine dragons appeared beside Lin Rong. Then, the woods around Titan turned into a lush green banyan forest in an instant. At the same time, the sky blue thunder barrier isolated the banyan forest from the outside world before Titan could react. Countless banyan tree roots came towards Titan like dancing dragons and snakes looking at the banyan tree roots whipping at him rapidly. Titan subconsciously wanted to use his soul skills to fight back, but the banyan tree roots carried the dragon's might and roared towards him. This dragon might caused Titan to waver in his idea of using his soul skills to fight back. And he missed the best opportunity to counterattack. As a result, Titan was soon buried under layers of tree roots. Damn. I was careless. These banyan tree roots are very resilient, and no matter how hard the Titan struggles, he cannot break free from them. There's no other way. Let's fight. The 7th soul ring on Titan lights up. The next moment, Titan transformed into a giant chimpanzee and used his huge body to forcibly break free from the roots of the banyan tree. High-altitude Lin Rong looked at the scene on the ground and was a little surprised. I didn't expect that the 9 vine dragon's martial spirit's toughness was so high that even Titan, who had activated his martial spirit's true body, could tear it apart with force. He could only break free by relying on his body size, but this is normal. The dragon soul clone has 2 9-curved vine dragon martial souls. Using the 1st, 3rd, and 4th soul skills at the same time is equivalent to doubling the amplification. Moreover, resilience naturally restrains strength, making it impossible for Titan to use his full strength. If it was a soul Douluo of the same level, whose martial spirit had sharp attributes, my vine dragon tree roots would not be able to trap him. However, using so many soul skills at the same time consumes an alarming amount of soul power. Fortunately, this is a forest with towering trees everywhere. I can absorb the life energy of these trees anytime and anywhere, and convert it into soul power through the life dragon soul to replenish my own consumption. Otherwise, even if my soul power recovers quickly, it will still be exhausted in 5 minutes at most. Lin Rong will not let go of such a good opportunity for actual combat, which is not easy. It's just right. Let Titan try out the power of the Thundering Hell-Vine Soul Bone Skill. Thunder Prison, Heavenly Punishment. End of this chapter. Chapter 84. Battle, the Mighty Dragon. Within the coverage of the Vine Dragon domain, every towering ancient tree emits a tiny bit of emerald green light. These emerald green lights are the vitality of the towering ancient trees. Under the influence of the field, thousands of tiny lights continuously poured into Lin Rong's body. After being transformed by the life dragon's soul, they turned into pure soul power to replenish the soul power consumed in his body, allowing him to maintain his peak state at all times on the ground. Titan had just entered the state of martial soul true body and forced himself to break free from the banyan tree roots with his rapidly increased body size a second ago, but was tied up by the banyan tree roots again the next second. Immediately afterwards, the Thundering Hell-Vine Soul Bone Skill was released suddenly. A dazzling green light burst out from the thunder barrier. Under the light, the entire barrier has turned into a sea of thunder, with lightning raging and thunder roaring, making it impossible to see the situation inside the barrier clearly. After a few seconds, the ocean of thunder dissipated, revealing the scene inside the thunder barrier. The banyan tree forest was safe and sound, as if the thunder just now had not hurt them at all. But in the center of the banyan tree forest, a huge dark pit appeared. The Titan under the spirit's true body was charred all over. His skin and flesh were rolling, but not a drop of blood flowed out. The Titan gasped and stood up from the pit. The wounds on his body looked scary, but in fact they did not hit any vital parts. It was just that the superficial flesh and blood were scorched by the thunder. With his physique in the form of his martial soul's true body, He could easily withstand this level of injury. The power of that attack just now is almost as powerful as the 6th soul skill of the strong attack soul fighter. This kid is just a soul king. How strong a property enhancement must he have to increase the power of his soul skills to such an extent? At this point, Titan regretted agreeing to participate in this assassination, and secretly prayed in his heart, Tang Xiao, Tang Xiao, you better deal with that kid's housekeeper right away, or I will have to die here today. Hi. In the air, Lin Rong looked at the injuries on Titan's body and was quite satisfied with the power of the soul bone skills. The age of the thundering hell-vine soul bone has now grown to over 15,000 years, which is 3,000 years higher than the maximum age of the 5th soul ring of an ordinary soul king. At the same time, when the 2 9-curved vine dragons simultaneously performed their 1st, 3rd, and 4th soul skills, as well as the blessing of their innate domain, the proportion of the increase in various attributes reached an extremely astonishing level regardless of other attributes. Just considering the soul power, the increase ratio is as high as 400%. Lin Rong's soul power level was at the peak of level 52. After an increase of 400%, his soul power strength instantly approached that of a level 80 soul Douluo. At the same time, the power of the thunder element also increased by 400% under the amplification of the double dragon roar thunder world. This makes the power of the soul bone skill thunder prison, heavenly punishment between the 5th and 6th soul skills of the strong attack soul Douluo. Just now, in order to test the power of the spirit bone skills, I used the group attack mode instead of the single target burst mode. Even so, I was able to injure Titan to this extent. If the single burst mode was used just now, Titan, a Contra who is not good at defense, would have been killed or crippled if he tried to confront it head-on. Titan's injury gave Lin Rong an accurate estimate of his current strength. As long as he doesn't encounter a soul master whose martial spirit can restrain the 9-curved vine dragon, Lin Rong will be able to fight against soul masters below the title Douluo before his soul power is exhausted. If the battlefield is located in the primeval forest like it is now, he can rely on his domain to have an inexhaustible source of soul power. Then, under the title Douluo, no matter whether the opponent's martial spirit can restrain the 9-curved vine dragon, Lin Rong has the confidence to remain invincible. I already have an idea of the power of the 1st stage of Thunder Prison, Heavenly Punishment. Next, let me see how powerful the 2nd stage of Thunder Prison, Heavenly Punishment, true form of Thunder Dragon is. Thinking this in his mind, Lin Rong also turned his gaze to Titan in the deep pit. Titan suddenly felt a chill in his heart. He looked up subconsciously and met Lin Rong's scrutinizing gaze. Not good. A strong sense of crisis burst out in Titan's heart. At this moment, he seemed to have no time to care about killing Lin Rong. He raised his limbs and ran to the edge of the barrier with his hands and feet. During this process, countless purple-blue lightning appeared in the barrier. As soon as these thunders appeared, they immediately gathered together, and a purple-blue thunder dragon slowly took shape. Boom! The Titan threw a punch, and huge ripples appeared on the surface of the barrier. Boom! Another punch, and cracks appeared on the surface of the barrier. Seeing this, Titan was delighted and thought, very good, one more punch will break this damn barrier. So, Titan raised his fist and aimed at the barrier, preparing to deliver a 3rd punch. However, before he could throw his fist, he heard a long and loud dragon roar. The intense pain in his head made Titan stop swinging his fist. The dragon roar that Titan heard did not come from the thunder dragon, but from Lin Rong's domain skill evil breaking dragon roar. From his innate domain, the soul shock and mental impact caused by the evil breaking dragon's roar to Titan prevented him from delivering a 3rd consecutive punch. Taking advantage of this brief gap, thunder energy emerged from other locations of the thunder barrier, repairing the cracks caused by the Titan. When Titan's punch landed on the barrier, the crack that had just been created had been repaired. Boom! The 3rd punch only caused huge ripples to appear in the barrier again. Damn it! Just a little bit. Titan was filled with indignation and despair, because at the moment his 3rd punch hit the barrier, the purple-blue thunder dragon completely condensed into shape above the barrier. Every dragon scale on the thunder dragon's body is lifelike, just like the real thing, just like a real dragon. If you didn't know the truth, you wouldn't be able to tell that the giant dragon in front of you was condensed from the thunder element high in the sky. Lin Rong separated one part of his mind and connected his consciousness through his skills, entering the body of the thunder dragon and controlling its actions. The thunder dragon exuded an extremely dangerous aura in Titan's eyes, letting him know that he had no hope of escaping the barrier. Now that the retreat is cut off, I can only fight to the death. A resolute and ruthless look flashed in the depths of Titan's eyes. Except for the 7th soul ring, The other 7 soul rings on his body lit up almost at the same time. Roar! A roar came from the Titan's mouth, and he jumped high from the ground with both feet. He did not look at the thunder dragon, but jumped back and forth between many towering ancient trees, rushing towards the location where Lin Rong was in the sky. It's a good idea, but unfortunately, you can't touch a hair on my head. Lin Rong calmly watched Titan approaching him. When Titan swung his fist towards him, a silver-white light flashed, and Titan's punch hit a leaf. Lin Rong's figure appeared outside the thunder barrier. The thunder dragon quickly flew high into the sky, and with a move of its tail, it swept the Titan, who was in the air with no traction, into the deep pit on the ground with a loud bang. Before Titan could stand up from the deep pit, a purple-blue lightning beam shot out from the mouth of the thunder dragon and hit the Titan in the deep pit in an instant. Goodbye. In your next life, remember to open your eyes and see people more clearly. Some people are not worthy of your loyalty. Lin Rong recited silently in his heart, and then the thunder dragon turned into a flash of lightning and passed through the Titan's body. End of this chapter. Chapter 85 Battle, Tang Xiao's Tragedy. The Titan, whose body was pierced by the lightning, felt his consciousness suddenly dim the next moment. Before his consciousness completely dissipated, his huge body in the state of his martial soul's true body dissipated in the dust with an explosion. Another part of the battlefield. Tang Xiao, who was trying his best to resist the old butler, was attracted by the explosion and turned his head to look. You useless bastard. You are a soul Douluo, but you were defeated by a brat. But Titan's death also made Tang Xiao want to retreat. Damn it. I didn't expect this old man's soul skills to be so difficult to deal with, especially the 9 stars. It can be used for both attack and defense. I can't find a single flaw. Titan is dead. We should not stay here for long. Let's retreat first. Find my second brother next time. We can attack together. I don't believe we can't kill him. Tang Xiao was thinking this in his heart, but he didn't know that his good brother was seriously injured and could not exert much of his strength. The 9 wonders of Xiaotian, the art of collapse. The clear sky hammer was waved in Tang Xiao's hand towards the old man in front of him. However, the trajectory of the clear sky hammer changed halfway, and it broke away from Tang Xiao's hand and smashed directly towards where Lin Rong was. Seeing this, the old butler naturally took action to stop the clear sky hammer from hitting the young master. Attack the enemy and save him. Tang Xiao was certain that the old man in front of him would do this, so he did what he did just now. Therefore, while the old butler was trying to stop the clear sky hammer from hitting Lin Rong, he immediately turned around and fled, and used his soul power to retrieve the clear sky hammer from a distance. Lin Rong looked at Tang Xiao's behavior. Although he knew that this was the right decision, he couldn't help but despise him in his heart. As the dignified leader of the Xiaotian sect, you didn't choose to fight to the end, but instead gave in so quickly. Humph, no wonder the Xiaotian sect did not choose to resist when faced with the pressure from the spirit hall, but instead immediately relocated the mountain gate, sealed off the mountain and closed the sect. It turns out they are all cowards from the same lineage. I really don't know how Tang Chen could have a group of descendants like you. A silver-white light flashed, and Lin Rong appeared beside the old housekeeper, and said quickly in a low voice, Grandpa, you keep him here, but remember, if Tang Xiao uses the ring explosion to fight, remember to avoid it in time and don't confront it head-on. Old slave understands. As soon as the old butler finished answering, he disappeared from the spot, replaced by a leaf 100 meters ahead of the direction in which Tang Xiao escaped. There was a space fluctuation and the old butler appeared there. Space. Soul skill. When Tang Xiao saw the old man suddenly appear in front of him, his mood suddenly fell to the bottom. Why didn't I see him use it just now? No, it wasn't him, it was the hairy boy's soul skill. In the fight just now, the old man in front of him had used all 8 soul rings except the 9th one, which had never lit up. But among those soul skills, there is no skill of space transfer. During the space transfer just now, the 9th soul ring on the old man did not light up, which means that this space transfer skill was not from the old man's hand. If I had known this, I shouldn't have cancelled Xiaotian's true body just now. Now the 7th soul skill has entered the cooling period and can only be used again after 7 days. Tang Xiao was worried and hesitated whether to use the explosive ring. In this situation, the other party has space spirit skills. I can't escape without exploding the ring to severely injure them. However, I only have 1 soul bone inherited from the sect, and I only have this 1 soul bone, and my level of ring explosion cultivation is not high either. If I use the explosive ring rashly, the chances of suffering backlash are very high. I only have one soul bone, and if my body suffers backlash, I will be seriously injured and dying, or even explode and die on the spot. While hesitating, the old butler controlled the 9 stars to transform into a cage and trap Tang Xiao inside at the same time. The 9th soul ring on the old butler, which had been dim for a long time, finally lit up. The true body of the star turned into a starry sky with stars twinkling all over the sky, and a phoenix was outlined in the starry sky. The phoenix's entire body was a star-colored azure, and its tail had 9 feathers that sparkled in the starry sky. This 9-feathered star phoenix was exactly one of the 2 soul skills in the 100,000-year soul ring formed by the 10,000-year 9th grade Ginseng King, Starfall, Sky Phoenix Kang Yuan Po. This soul skill is a single target output skill with extremely high power and a locking effect, so it is sure to hit once it is used. However, the soul power consumption of Xinggai and Xianfang Kang Yuan Po is extremely high, and one attack will consume nearly 20% of the soul power. Even in Xingjin's true form, the soul power consumption of soul skills is halved, and it still consumes nearly 10% of the soul power to use it once. The old butler Yu Yuan's current soul power is as high as level 96. Which shows how amazing the consumption of this soul skill is. It was also for this reason that the old butler did not use the 9th soul skill in the previous battle, because he still needs to conserve his soul power in case something unexpected happens to the young master. He will have enough soul power to save him now. Titan is reduced to ashes. The old butler no longer had any concerns, and planned to use this extremely powerful 9th soul skill to achieve his goal in one fell swoop and eliminate Tang Xiao, who had no martial soul body. The appearance of the 9-feathered star phoenix caused Tang Xiao to feel a fatal crisis. The single target output soul skill of the 100,000-year soul ring was released under the martial soul's true body, and its power was directly doubled. Damn it, I can't care less. Tang Xiao was not in the mood to think too much and instantly made up his mind to use the exploding ring, holding the clear sky hammer in his hand. The 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th soul rings on his body were shattered at the same time. Suddenly, the power contained in the soul ring poured into Tang Xiao's body at once. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out of Tang Xiao's mouth. He endured the pain in his body and poured all his strength into the clear sky hammer in his hand, using his magical skill, the Great Sumeru Hammer. With a light wave of the clear sky hammer, the cage formed by 9 stars shattered instantly and collided with a 9-feathered star phoenix. Suddenly, countless aftermaths of power spread to the surroundings, and wherever they passed, the towering trees were turned into dust and dissipated in the strong wind. And the second before these two forces collided, Lin Rong used space replacement to teleport himself and the old butler to a safe enough place. As expected of the world's #1 divine skill, the power of this ring explosion is well deserved. The moment the ring was released, it actually broke through the 20% suppression of all attributes of the Vine Dragon domain. But it seems that this guy Tang Xiao also used the explosive ring for the first time, and he went too far with his desperate effort. In Lin Rong's perception, Tang Xiao's life breath at this moment was like a candle in the wind, which could be extinguished at any time. After a long time, the smoke and dust dissipated. A huge crater appeared on the ground, far larger than the one Lin Rong created when fighting Titan in the deep pit. There lay a figure that was not in human form, and it was impossible to tell who this person was from his appearance. It has to be said that the vitality of a title Douluo is indeed extremely tenacious. Even in this situation, Tang Xiao is still hanging on to his last breath. At the same time, even though Tang Xiao had become like this, Lin Rong did not rush down, for fear that Tang Xiao still had the ability to deliver a final blow. Blue lightning condensed in Lin Rong's hands. Just when he was about to send Tang Xiao off, he sensed that Tang Xiao's life breath was extinguished. This meant that the dignified leader of the Xiaotian sect, a title Douluo at level 96, had perished in the backlash of the exploding ring. Lin Rong looked down at the scene below, feeling speechless, and thought, detonating 6 spirit rings at the same time. Do you think you are Tang San in the original novel? With 6 top-grade spirit bones including the 8 spider lances, you can use the spirit rings at will. End of this chapter. Chapter 86 Harvest Time. The 9-bend vine dragon carried Lin Rong and the old butler to the ground and walked to the edge of the deep pit. In the deep pit, a piece of perfectly intact soul bone peeled off from Tang Xiao's left arm and floated in front of Lin Rong. An extremely surging aura emanated from this soul bone. This overbearing energy wave spread in all directions, triggering the dragon soul to automatically protect its master. The illusory blue real dragon surrounded Lin Rong, defending him against the pressure of this energy. It is worthy of being one of the 3 inherited soul bones that Tang Chen left for his own sect. It is actually more than 70,000 years old. Lin Rong stretched out his hand and held the soul bone in his hand, truly feeling the extremely explosive energy contained in this soul bone. The power contained in this soul bone is so violent, it is very suitable for those soul masters who take the route of being extremely strong and fierce. Grandpa, here you go. Lin Rong handed the soul bone in his hand to the old butler and said, although the properties of this soul bone are not compatible with you, its quality and age can fully make up for it. Thank you, young master. After hearing this, the old butler did not refuse. He took out a wooden box, put the soul bone in it, and then put it into the soul guide. The 100,000-year-old soul bone of the 10,000-year-old 9th grade ginseng king had life attributes that matched the young master's martial soul, but its life form was that of a phoenix instead of a real dragon. For this reason, the young master gave it to him if he wanted. This left arm bone is only a little over 70,000 years old, which is nothing compared to the 100,000-year-old soul bone. Grandpa, what do you think of Tang Xiao's strength? After the old butler collected this soul bone, he heard the young master's question and recalled the fight with Tang Xiao just now. After thinking for a while, he replied, very strong, both are level 96 title Douluo. Under normal circumstances, Tang Xiao and this old slave should be equally strong. However, Xiaotian Jinja can be used as a regular method in Tang Xiao's hands. He uses it to perfection, and each move contains great power. If it weren't for your innate domain, young master, when we fought just now, I would have increased my overall attributes by 20%, while weakening Tang Xiao's overall attributes by 20%. As one gains strength while the other loses strength, this old slave can retain some strength and suppress Tang Xiao head-on in the battle. Lin Rong took the soul guide that Duke Lin had searched from Titan and Tang Xiao, and he agreed with the old butler's words in his heart. Tang Xiao's attainments in the 9 wonders of Xiaotian are indeed extraordinary. After all, in the original novel, Tang Xiao practiced the 9 secrets of Xiaotian to the point of mastery, and combined the 9 secrets into one to create the 10th secret, the kill secret. To be honest, Tang Xiao's talent is not bad, and he can even be considered an extremely talented person among the natives. However, his brilliance was completely overshadowed by his more outstanding younger brother. In addition, Tang Xiao's combat performance is far inferior to that of his younger brother Tang Hao. This has led to the situation that when people mention the Xiaotian sect, the first person that comes to mind is Xiaotian Douluo Tang Hao, and they almost automatically ignore the fact that there is also a figure like Xiaotian Douluo in the Xiaotian sect. In the previous fight, Tang Xiao did not use the killing technique. It should be that he has not yet created it. However, Tang Xiao should have left some tips on this in his soul guide. Let's look for it. Thinking this in his mind, Lin Rong released his mental power to search for things like experience manuals in the soul guide left by Tang Xiao. There weren't many things in the soul guide. Apart from some clothes and daily necessities, the rest of the stuff was pitifully small and could be seen clearly soon. Lin Rong made a discovery and took out a slightly thick booklet from the soul guide. This should be it. As he spoke, Lin Rong opened the booklet and took a quick look through it. I was surprised to find that this booklet, in addition to recording the practice experience of the 9 secrets of Xiaotian, all other cultivation experiences related to the clear sky hammer are recorded in this booklet. Even the cultivation experience of the great Sumeru hammer is included. Great stuff. Know yourself and your enemy, and you will never be defeated in 100 battles. With this booklet, we can know the flaws and weaknesses of the clear sky hammer technique. Its value is inestimable. However, apart from this booklet, there is nothing valuable in Tang Xiao's soul guide. He doesn't even have a few gold soul coins. He is really poor. Lin Rong complained in his heart and looked at another soul guide floating nearby. Release your mental power and probe into it. I saw that there were many things neatly stacked in the storage space, more than a dozen boxes of cash in gold, silver and bronze soul coins, and a full box of gold soul coin cards with a face value of at least 10,000. A box of scroll drawings contained all kinds of hidden weapons of the Tang sect, big and small. The richness of the variety surprised Lin Rong. A complete set of assembled hidden weapons. Except for a few top-ranked mechanical hidden weapons, the rest of the hidden weapons have an assembled finished product. A large variety of metals, both wrought and unwrought. There were a lot of bottles and jars, which looked like they contained all kinds of poisons. There are 3 booklets, one on the cultivation experience of the powerful gorilla's martial spirit, one on the blacksmith's forging experience, and one on the cultivation secret book called Iron Forging Hands. The rest of the things in the soul guide are just some miscellaneous items, not worth mentioning. Yes, there are quite a few valuable things. Lin Rong was very satisfied with the contents of the Titan's soul guide, although Titan's blacksmith's forging experience is not as good as Lu Gao's. It's not much different. Add to that the unique palm technique of the Li clan, Iron Forging Hands, and we will be able to train a group of blacksmiths with excellent forging skills. These hidden weapon drawings are not the castrated versions that Tang San gave Ning Fengzi in the original novel. Instead, they are complete versions that record in detail how to assemble the hidden weapons, with the finished hidden weapons in the soul guide as templates. Plus these complete hidden weapon drawings, we can break Tang San's monopoly on Tang Sec's hidden weapons. It's because Tang San relied too much on the Power Clan in forging hidden weapons, and handed over the entire forging and assembly process of the Tang Sec's hidden weapons to the Power Clan. Otherwise, Titan wouldn't have the blueprints of all the Tang Sec's mechanical hidden weapons. Among the things in the Titan Soul Guide, Lin Rong was only interested in these other things, such as money. Although the box of gold soul coin cards was worth a lot, it was not even the icing on the cake for a hereditary duke like the Lin family who had been passed down for a long time. As for the matching poisons for the Tang Sec's mechanical hidden weapons in the bottles and jars in the soul guides, after he subdues the Po Yu clan, he will not only not be short of them, but he can also concoct better ones. As for those metals, they are not rare types and can be bought with money. Finally, there is the book on the cultivation experience of the powerful gorilla's martial spirit, which is of no value at all because, in his mind, the Power Clan was not a threat at all, not to mention that the Titans were dead now. It's nothing like the Xiaotian sect. Even if Tang Chen fell, Tang Hao was seriously injured, and Tang Xiao was dead, there would still be at least 5 titled Douluo in the future. This also made Lin Rong speechless. It's true. The bottleneck between level 89 and level 90 is something that others cannot break through even if they spend their entire lives on it. For example, the leader of the Elephant Armor sect, Hu Yanzhen, was only able to break through to level 90 with the help of the Spirit Hall. As a result, this realm barrier seemed to be non-existent for the 5 elders of Xiaotian sect. They broke through the realm of titled Douluo in bulk, one after another, and even broke through 5 of them. End of this chapter. Chapter 87, Kamikaze Surrender. The strength of the Xiaotian sect should not be underestimated, and the Lin family also plays an important role in the Sky Dou Empire. Therefore, whether Tang Xiao came to kill Lin Rong or Lin Rong and the old housekeeper killed him back, these two things could not be made public. Both parties just need to know the truth between each other and must not bring this matter up once the dispute is exposed. The two sides will fight to the death. For example, in the original novel, Tang San was ambushed on his way to Spirit City. Almost everyone knew that it was done by the Spirit Hall, but no one dared to speak out about it. Lin Rong didn't want the old butler's strength to be exposed to the public too early, so he wouldn't reveal the fact that Tang Xiao had tried to kill him. The Xiaotian sect will also be particularly wary of the power in Lin Rong's hands because of Tang Xiao's death, and Tang Yuhua, who is active outside, will definitely not act rashly to avoid getting into trouble. This matter is of great importance. No outsider who knows about this matter will be able to leave alive. So, Lin Rong's voice echoed throughout the forest under the transmission of spiritual power. Then, a silver-white light flashed by, and Lin Rong and the old butler disappeared from the spot, appearing behind a towering tree a few hundred meters away. Submission or death, you can only choose one. The 2 people hiding behind the big tree froze when they heard the sound coming from behind them. Of the 2, one looked to be in his 70s, and the other looked to be around 20 years old, and had met Lin Rong once before. My benefactor, long time no see, Feng. Xiaotian suppressed the fear in his heart and greeted them with a forced smile while saying this. I felt secretly bitter in my heart not long ago. The 20-year-old Feng Xiaotian's soul power broke through level 50. The dean of the Xinfeng Academy was extremely happy when he learned about this. The 20-year-old Soul King not only broke the record in the history of Kamikaze Academy, but also left the 2nd place far behind. The 5th soul ring is the first 10,000-year soul ring that a regular soul master can obtain, and its importance is self-evident. In order for Feng Xiaotian to obtain a high-quality 10,000-year soul ring, the dean, who was a high-level soul saint, personally led him to the Star Dao Great Forest to hunt for the 5th soul ring. Originally, things were going smoothly. The two of them were lucky enough to encounter a swift-wind demon wolf that was over 10,000 years old, and it was a swift-wind, two-headed wolf that had mutated like his martial soul with the help of the Dean. Feng Xiaotian successfully hunted and absorbed the soul ring of the 10,000-year-old Gale two-headed wolf. Moreover, the Dean also found a head soul bone from the two wolf heads of the Gale two-headed wolf. The Dean gave this head soul bone to Feng Xiaotian to absorb, which allowed his soul power to break through to level 52. However, they did not expect that this series of good luck would come and go as quickly as it did as they were leaving the starred out Great Forest. They heard the noise of a huge battle and couldn't help but feel curious. If it were any other time, no matter how curious they were, they would stay away, but this time their luck gave them the idea that they could benefit from it, so they came to find out what was going on out of curiosity. Damn it, I shouldn't have come here if I had known. Curiosity kills. Beside Feng Xiaotian, the Dean, who was in his 70s, heard the word benefactor and his tense body relaxed a little, and asked, Xiaotian, do you know each other? Hearing the Dean's question, Feng Xiaotian immediately told him what happened 4 years ago. Then, he said to Lin Rong, we just arrived, we really don't know what's going on here. After hearing this, Lin Rong replied calmly, I know. These words made them both feel relieved, but Lin Rong's next words made them change their expressions again. But so what? Whether you know what happened here or not, it doesn't matter, but you saw me and Yubo appear here. Just for this reason, I can't let you go. I don't want to repeat what I just said a second time. You only have 1 minute to think about it. The time starts from now, and 1 second has passed. As he spoke, a liquid hourglass made of sky blue soul power appeared in midair, and the liquid soul power inside was dripping from the upper layer to the lower layer drop by drop. This move shocked the Dean. Even he couldn't achieve such delicate control of soul power. This made him no longer underestimate the seemingly 10-year-old child in front of him, and he began to seriously consider what Lin Rong had just said. Half a minute later, the Dean made his choice. I am Yu Feng, the Dean of Kamikaze Academy. I am willing to lead all the direct teachers and students of Kamikaze Academy to be loyal to the Duke. The Dean knelt on one knee to show his submission, and then asked in a low voice, but there is one thing I want to ask you. What is the current strength of the person next to you? Faced with this question, Lin Rong did not answer directly, but said, no need to guess. It's just as you thought. It's only higher, not lower. After saying that, Lin Rong continued to instruct, I have a mission for you. Help me conquer the 3 academies of Blazing Fire, Sky Water, and Thunder. Is that a problem? This one. Yu Feng's expression was very embarrassed, and he answered, my lord, this may be difficult to handle. Among our 5 element academies, the Xiangjia Academy supported by the Xiangjia sect is excluded. Although the other 4 academies are closely related, they all have their own ideas. Therefore, I can only do my best, but I cannot guarantee success. Lin Rong naturally understood what Yu Feng said. Their 3 academies are very powerful in their own cities, and no one wants to suddenly have an extra master above their heads. Therefore, Lin Rong acted very generously and said, it's okay. You don't need to do it directly. One day in the future, your 4 element academies will retain the direct teachers and students of their respective academies to gather together for warmth. Then, it will be the best time for you to lobby the other 3 deans. Yu Feng was a little confused by this. Their 4 colleges only retain direct faculty and students to keep each other together. How much turmoil would it take to achieve such a situation? Only the Spirit Hall can do this. The prestige of our 4 major colleges in our own city cannot be easily shaken, but most of the non-direct teachers and students in the academy have close ties with the Spirit Hall. Only the Spirit Hall can force our 4 major colleges to gather together with their teachers and students for warmth. But in the future, why would Spirit Hall do that? Is there any benefit for them? Yu Feng did not doubt Lin Rong's words, but he changed his mind and felt that there was no need for Lin Rong to lie to him. The task of him conquering the 3 major academies would only be implemented after that event in the future happened. It turns out that the water on this continent has already become turbid without anyone noticing, but I just didn't notice it before. End of this chapter. Chapter 88, The Master's Gift. Yu Feng felt a lot of emotions in his heart, but he nodded to show that he understood. Seeing this, Lin Rong looked at Feng Xiaotian, who was standing beside him, and ordered, Feng Xiaotian, don't just sit there. I also have a task for you. Feng Xiaotian stood there in a daze. When Lin Rong called him, he immediately came to his senses and answered, "My benefactor, no, sir, please speak, it's very simple." Lin Rong continued, 4 years from now, I want you to win the All-Continental High-Level Spirit Master Elite Competition and give me the Spirit Condensed Wisdom Skull, one of the 3 10,000-year Spirit Bones from the Spirit Hall's Championship Prize. How is it? Are you confident that you can win the championship? Are you confident of winning? Feng Xiaotian was stunned when he heard this. To win the championship, they must defeat the seeded team recommended by the Spirit Hall. Over the past few years, the Spirit Hall began to build up momentum for Ziyu, Hulina, and Yan. Feng Xiaotian also learned about the information of these 3 golden generations from the channels of the Xinfeng Academy. Ziyu, the leader of the golden generation, broke through to the Soul Sect at the age of 17. Yan, one of the golden generation, broke through to the Soul Sect at the age of 17. Hulina, one of the golden generation, broke through to the Soul Sect at the age of 16. At this moment, Ziyu and Yan are 18 years old, and Hulina is 17 years old. According to the cultivation speed of these 3 people, their soul power cultivation should be around level 43 or 44. 4 years later, if these 3 people can break through to the Soul King level without any unexpected problems, they will definitely be the absolute main force of the Spirit Hall's seed team. In the next competition among them, Ziyu's Martial Soul Moonblade and Hulina's Martial Soul Demon Fox can perform the Martial Soul Fusion skill Demonic Charm. Although Yao Mei's reputation in martial soul fusion skills is not as famous as the Nether White Tiger of the Douluo Empire's royal family, it can also be considered famous. Therefore, Feng Xiaotian also found detailed information about the martial soul fusion skill Demonic Charm. The demon form is half male and half female, and holds a giant moon blade. In addition, the demon can release a red mist field with itself as the center. Within the control range of this field, everyone's senses will be reduced by 50%. Their soul power will be suppressed by 50%, and all actions will be slowed by 50%. In the red fog, only Ziyu and Hulina, who performed the martial soul fusion technique, could see things as for what's outside the red fog. According to records, no one has ever been able to see clearly inside the red fog. If the Xinfeng Academy wants to defeat the Spirit Hall seed team and win the championship, someone must be able to compete with a demon, and that person, Feng Xiaotian, is the only one in the entire Kamikaze Academy who can do that. He is 20 years old and is Soul King of level 52. After 4 years of training, he was absolutely sure to cultivate his soul power to level 60. Becoming the youngest Soul Emperor in the history of the Xinfeng Academy, the soul skill granted to him by the head soul bone of the swift 2-headed wolf just happened to restrain the enchanting red fog field. There is no interference and suppression from the red fog area. 4 years later, with his cultivation as a Soul Emperor, he was confident that he could fight against the demon and had more than 50% chance of defeating it. However, he and the demon were restraining each other, and no matter who won or lost, they would lose the ability to continue fighting. On the other hand, with the joining of people from Blazing Fire Academy, Kamikaze Academy will be able to gather 6 Soul Masters on the Spirit Hall side. There is a Soul King and 4 high-level Soul Masters. The wind on their side helps the fire and the fire helps the wind, plus his Xiao Wu's fusion ring. Their strength should be equal to that of the Martial Arts Hall. But Feng Xiaotian was a little worried. It is said that Yan's Martial Soul is the legendary ancient beast Martial Soul, the Flame Lord. The characteristics of the Martial Soul give Yan extremely high resistance to fire. If the rumors are true, then their chances of winning will be greatly reduced unless he can hold back 3 members of the Golden Generation on his own. His hopes of winning the championship are slim. So Feng Xiaotian answered frankly, "Sir, to be honest, I am confident in my own strength, but the gap between my teammates and the Spirit Hall is really a bit large. If I can get one more Soul King, I will have more than 70% chance of winning the championship and presenting the Soul Bone to you, my lord. So, for the competition 4 years later, can you provide a powerful foreign aid with a cultivation level of a Soul King? A powerful foreign aid with a cultivation level of a Soul King?" Jin Feng Xiaotian's question made Lin Rong think about it carefully. Among his younger generation, the only ones who are qualified to participate in the next competition are Ma Hongjun, Duke Lin and Meng Yiren. Out of 3, although Duke Lin took 3 Dragon Rhythm Immortal Ganoderma pills, his innate talent was average, and he would be at most a high-level Soul Master in 4 years. Not to mention Meng Yiren, who only took 1 pill of Longyine Xianxi pill, and whose innate talent was almost the same as Duke Lin's. After 4 years, he would at most be a low-level Soul Master. Only because Ma Hongjun absorbed the Phoenix Coxcomb Sunflower at the age of 8 could he possess the soul power of a Soul King at the age of 14. However, Although Ma Hongjun meets the requirements of a strong foreign aid, Lin Rong does not intend to let Ma Hongjun be this foreign aid. Taking control of the military power is what Ma Hongjun should do, and it is also the only thing he should do at present. So, under Feng Xiaotian's expectant gaze, Lin Rong simply rejected the request. I can provide Soul King with external aid, but he has more important things to do, so don't count on him. These words made Feng Xiaotian look a little depressed, but Lin Rong's next words ignited his curiosity again. There is more than one way to defeat the Spirit Hall Seed Team. In addition to the Soul King foreign aid you mentioned, I have another safer way that will definitely win the game and the championship. Have you ever heard of the 7-in-1 fusion technique? 7-in-1 fusion technique. Feng Xiaotian looked a little confused, but Dean Mu Feng looked like he was thinking about something afterwards. Mu Feng used his soul power to transmit the concept of the 7-in-1 fusion technique to Feng Xiaotian's ear. After hearing this, Feng Xiaotian's face was full of disbelief. He opened his mouth but didn't know what to say. He just stood there in a daze, not moving. Seeing this, Lin Rong took out a thick book and said to the two of them, normally speaking, only martial spirits of the same kind can hope to achieve the 7-in-1 fusion technique when they absorb spirit rings of the same kind, but there are exceptions to everything. A theoretical master has researched a method for different types of martial spirits to perform the 7-in-1 fusion technique, and the key to this method lies in the fusion of rings, with a soul master who has the ability to fuse rings as a guide, and following a specific method, the soul powers of 7 soul masters with completely different martial souls can be combined. This book records in detail all of the theoretical master's insights on the 7-in-1 fusion technique. Take this book back and study it carefully. Once you have mastered the 7-in-1 fusion technique, winning the championship will be a piece of cake for you. That's right. This book was written by Yu Yuan. Lin Rong asked Xinian to find the original from Yu Yuan's soul guide and then copied it. The 7-in-1 fusion technique is one of Yu Yuan's only few useful theoretical studies. It is also the only theoretical study that is helpful to Lin Rong. After Lin Rong awakened the 9-curved vine dragon, he gained the innate ability of ring fusion. As early as that time, he had already taken note of Yu Yuan's research experience on the 7-in-1 fusion technique. The upper limit of the number of people who can perform the 7-in-1 fusion technique is 7. But there is no requirement for 7 people. As long as the fusion ring is there, any number of people below 7 can perform it. For example, Lin Rong and the old butler can perform a 2-in-1 fusion technique, and Lin Rong, as the leader, can exert the strength of at least to title Douluo at level 96. There are a lot of bugs in the character ages in the original work, especially Hulina, who gets younger as the characters progress, so I balanced the ages. Hulina is 37 years old. Xiu and Yan are 38 years old. During the competition, their ages were, Hulina is 21 years old, Xiu and Yan are 22 years old. Also, the Xiao Wu that Feng Xiaotian mentioned refers to Ho Wu, not the 100,000-year-old rabbit. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 89 Return. That master was able to come up with this theory, so he must be a powerful soul master himself. Feng Xiaotian took the book with both hands, his tone full of praise for the master. If you don't have strong enough strength, it is absolutely impossible to research this 7-in-1 fusion technique. Lin Rong listened to this with a subtle expression. Yu Yuan is only a level 29 great soul master, so how can he be considered powerful? But it's no wonder Feng Xiaotian thought this way. Normally speaking, if you want to research theories of this level, you do need to have strong enough capabilities. However, the library of the Spirit Hall is so powerful that Yu Yuan does not need to have strong strength to possess extremely rich theoretical knowledge. To be honest, Yu Yuan is indeed a waste in cultivation, but he is quite good in theoretical research. The theories published by Yu Yuan, except for some personal opinions added without authorization. The rest of the theoretical knowledge sorted out from various classics of the Spirit Hall was summarized very concisely and accurately. To use the words of his previous life, Yu Yuan was a master of typesetting. He lacked innovation, but was more than capable of copying and pasting after all the tasks were assigned. Lin Rong let Feng Xiaotian and Mu Feng leave. He and the old butler also embarked on the journey back to Xiandao City. Half a month later, the carriage that Lin Rong was riding in drove into the gate of Xiandao City. Soon, the spy at the city gate passed the news to Tang Yuho, the top floor of Yuxun. When Steward O told her the news, all I heard was a click, because her emotions were too intense. Tang Yuho lost her grip on the teacup in her hand and it fell to the ground, making a crisp breaking sound. Impossible. How could he come back alive if Big Brother did it himself? Tang Yuho almost subconsciously thought of the worst-case scenario, and her whole body began to shiver uncontrollably. But soon, Tang Yuho began to comfort herself, thinking, Tang Yuho, oh Tang Yuho, don't panic and lose your composure. Big Brother's soul power is as high as level 96, and he has the 9 absolutes of clear sky at his side. No one in this world can take Big Brother's life, except for the Spirit Hall sending out several tidal Douluo to encircle and suppress him. It's probably because the Xingdao Great Forest is too big, and my elder brother was unable to find them, so they were able to return to Xiandao City alive. This self-comfort was very effective, and Tang Yuho's face returned to calm and composure. But from beginning to end, the only person Tang Yuho cared about was Tang Xiao. As for whether Titan, who went with her to kill, was dead or alive, she didn't care at all. In a large forging room, the sounds of blacksmithing came one after another, clanging and donging non-stop. Tang San walked into the deepest part of the forging room and found Tai Tan's son Tian Yuo. He asked with great concern, Tano, where's your father? He said he had something urgent to deal with. It's been a month, why hasn't he come back yet? You are the son of the Titan Elder. Do you know what the urgent matter is? The concerned look on Tang San's face did not seem fake, but came from the heart. You know, the soul guide that Titan carries with him contains complete drawings of all the Tang sect's mechanical hidden weapons. The mechanical hidden weapons are the Tang clan's reliance for survival in this world. Once leaked, the consequences will be disastrous. If Tang San didn't have some trust in Titan's loyalty, he would have suspected that Titan had taken the hidden weapon drawings and defected to the enemy or started a new group. But this little bit of trust was completely lost within a month. So I came to Tino today to get clarification. After hearing this, Tino put down the forging hammer in his hand, thought carefully, and replied, Master, I'm not sure about this, but it seems to be related to your aunt. About 3 months ago, your aunt came to see my father, and since then, my father has occasionally muttered something. A month ago, after Yuxun's people delivered a message, my father left in a hurry. If you want to find out, you can ask your aunt. Hearing this answer, Tang San's expression changed slightly, thinking, Aunt? Elder Titan, could it be that the Xiaotian sect is planning to use our Tang sect's hidden weapons? Damn it. Considering how loyal Titan is to my father, coupled with my aunt's words, it's not impossible for Titan to betray the Tang sect. Tang San knew very well that his father, aunt and uncle were all genuine sex slaves for the benefit of Xiaotian sect. It is not impossible for his aunt to do something to seduce Titan. Thinking of this, Tang San clenched his fists, his nails piercing deeply into his flesh, and he roared madly in his heart, assholes. Those elders of Xiaotian sect are really hypocritical. They keep belittling my hidden weapons, but secretly instigated my aunt to do such sneaky things. Auntie had her reasons. I will forgive her, but you 6 elders are guilty of unforgivable crimes, and you are destined to die. At this moment, the difference between closeness and distance was fully reflected in Tang San. In order to verify whether his guess was true, Tang San came to Yuxun and found Tang Yuho at this time. Tang Yuho was a little upset because Lin Rong returned safely, but there was no news from Tang Xiao for a long time. After seeing Tang San, he immediately thought of Titan. Therefore, Tang Yuho couldn't help feeling guilty when facing Tang San, and her expression was a little unnatural. Tang San cultivated the purple demon pupil, so these unnatural changes in expression could not be hidden from his eyes, and made him more certain of his guess. After confirming his guess, Tang San didn't want to destroy the relationship between aunt and nephew. So he just chatted with Tang Yuho about family matters without making things clear. But the grudge in my heart has already grown. If the misunderstanding is not clarified, this grudge will only grow over time until it can no longer be eliminated. Lin's manor main house living room. Lin Rong sat in front of the table, looking at the hidden weapon drawings on the table, planning something in his mind. Building a complete hidden weapon production line is not something that can be accomplished overnight. Moreover, this matter has to be carried out in secret. If the news leaks out, it will not be able to play a surprising role in the future. Blacksmiths, forging, connections, technology, All these aspects are enough to make one feel overwhelmed just thinking about them. As expected, professional matters should be left to professionals. It's time to turn Liu Gao over. Lin Rong rubbed his temples and thought, I have the frost third iron essence and deep sea silver in my hands. If I want to create the Buddha's Wrath Tang Lotus and the torrential pear blossom needle, I must get these two items. Given Liu Gao's enthusiasm for forging, this won't be difficult to accomplish. Liu Gao's forging skills, as well as his connections and reputation in the blacksmith guild, can save a lot of unnecessary trouble with Liu Gao in hand. You can create a complete hidden weapon production line in the shortest time possible, but Liu Gao, this fanatical technology geek, has always stayed in his personal forging room and has hardly ever gone out. The exclusive forging room on the tall building is made of fine iron, and breaking in by force would make a lot of noise. Even Dugubo's highly toxic corrosive iron would make a loud noise. Therefore, if Lin Rong wanted to bring Liu Gao out of the Tang clan without anyone noticing, he had to do it personally. Fortunately, I had the foresight to attach the green leaf mark to one of Liu Gao's heirs at the Tang clan banquet. Spirit skills are really useful. If Kong King Zhu's head spirit bone grows to 100,000 years later, it will give me the spirit skill of controlling space elements. That would be perfect. End of this chapter. Chapter 90 Soul Bone Configuration. Control over space elements, control over lightning elements, plus the 9 curved vine dragon, is equivalent to an alternative 3 lives martial soul. Although the first two cannot be attached with spirit rings, they can be used together with a 9 curved vine dragon martial spirit. Moreover, for a martial soul that controls elements, the higher the level of cultivation, the less important soul skills become. Instead, what is more important is the soul master's understanding of the elemental power possessing the ability to control elements. The deeper one's understanding and control of the elements, the more varied and unique the soul skills that one can create when using them, given the special nature of Kong King Zhu. After the head soul bone grows to 100,000 years, combined with Lin Rong's own subjective will, it is very likely that the second soul bone skill is the control of space elements. Lin Rong closed his eyes and looked inward. The trace of divinity in the blood has become much stronger than when it was first refined a year ago. Moreover, as Lin Rong's own cultivation continues to improve, the speed at which the divinity in his blood grows will also accelerate. All over the body, the head, heart, and left leg emitted faint light of different colors. The faint light at the head is blue and silver. The silver-blue glow symbolizes the two forces of life and space, and is a sign that Kong King Zhu's head soul bone is absorbing these two forces and continuing to grow. The faint glow at the heart position is blue and green. The turquoise color symbolizes pure life energy, and is a sign that the banyan heart, the attached soul bone, is absorbing life energy and growing. The glimmer at the left leg is blue and cyan. The cyan is light and the blue is black, symbolizing the vitality and destruction contained in thunder and lightning. It is also a sign that the left leg bone of the thunder hell vine is absorbing the power of thunder and lightning and growing. Among these 3 soul bones, the oldest one is the left leg bone of the thundering hell vine, which has now grown to more than 15,000 years old. The remaining external soul bones are the banyan tree heart and the Kong King Zhu head soul bone. The ages of these 2 soul bones are almost the same. They have grown to more than 9,700 years. It will take another 200 years to grow to the level of 10,000 year soul bones. Whether it is a soul beast, soul ring, or soul bone, 100 years to 1,000 years is a qualitative change, and 1,000 years to 10,000 years is also a qualitative change. Kong King Zhu's head soul bone is one of the 6 regular soul bones. Before it grows to 100,000 years old, the soul bone will not give birth to new skills, but the heart of the banyan tree is an external soul bone and cannot be discussed by common sense. Therefore, after the banyan tree heart grows into a 10,000 year soul bone, it is very likely that new abilities will be born. This made Lin Rong feel a little excited. According to the current growth rate of soul bones, in half a month at the latest, the banyan tree heart and Kong King Zhu head soul bones will be able to grow to the level of 10,000 year soul bones by then. With 3 10,000 year soul bones in his body, although it is still a long way from 50,000 years, Lin Rong has the life dragon soul to protect him. So the potential danger of practicing the ring explosion is not worth mentioning to him. Lin Rong walked to the window and looked out. It was still early at this moment. The sun had just reached the western side of the sky, and it would take another 3 hours before dusk. During the day, there are too many people and too many eyes, so it's inconvenient to move around. It would be better to wait until dark before going to Tangmen to kidnap Liu Gao. After dark, there is cover of night, so it is not easy to be discovered when using space spirit skills. In addition to worrying about Liu Gao's matter, The chain reaction brought about by Tang Xiao's death also required Lin Rong to prepare in advance to deal with what happened next. The Xiaotian sect can be ignored. Tang Chen is missing, Tang Hao is expelled, and Tang Xiao is dead. Those 6 elders definitely don't have the courage to come down the mountain to cause trouble for him before all of them break through to the title Douluo level. However, Tang Hao needs extra attention according to Tang Yuhu's personality. After confirming Tang Xiao's death, the first person she should tell should be Tang Hao, not the elders of Xiaotian sect at the same time. According to Tang Hao's temperament, after learning the cause and effect of the matter, 2 situations will occur: or they get angry and come directly to seek revenge without considering the consequences. Either you keep silent and wait for Tang San to grow up before settling the score together. However, ever since the death of Tang San's mother, Tang Hao has become decadent and no longer has the high-spirited spirit he once had. Therefore, Tang Hao is unlikely to get angry, but will choose to endure it and place all his hopes on Tang San. But the truth is ultimately uncertain. Lin Rong could guarantee that Tang Hao would choose to keep silent. Who knows, Tang Hao might suddenly not want to live anymore, and after telling Tang Yuhu everything he wanted to entrust to Tang San, he would choose to die together with him and the old butler. Therefore, instead of waiting passively, it is better to take the initiative. After Tang Hao heard the news of his elder brother's death, he should have gone to Xiandao City to meet Tang San and Tang Yuhu. It seems that I have to instruct the secret guards lurking in Nodding City to have the bribed villagers of Holy Soul Village keep a closer eye on Tang Hao. If Tang Hao shows any sign of leaving Holy Spirit Village, we must immediately have the spine-tailed Swift report this to us. At that time, the old butler and I will ambush on the road leading to Xiandao City and kill Tang Hao there. This is called giving someone a taste of their own medicine. It was Tang Xiao and Tai Tan who attacked us first. Now that things have changed, it's time for Tang Hao to have a taste of his own medicine. As Lin Rong thought about it, he began to miss the spoils on Tang Hao. Among the soul masters of Tang Hao's generation, Tang Hao and Bibi Dong are the only 2 people who possess full soul bones. Although the 6 soul bones on Tang Hao's body are not as luxurious as Bibi Dong's 6 soul bones, they are still relative among the 6 soul bones in the body. 2 are soul bones inherited from the Xiaotian sect that are more than 50,000 years old. Among them, one is a right arm bone and the other is a left leg bone, both of which are of comparable quality to the left arm bone obtained from Tang Xiao. The age of the remaining 4 soul bones is unknown, but it is definitely not less than 10,000 years in addition to these 6 soul bones. Tang Hao's assets also include 3 important items: the Blue-Silver Emperor's life seed, the 100,000-year-old Blue-Silver Emperor's right leg bone, and the 100,000-year-old transformed soul beast. These 3 things. The 100,000 years Blue-Silver Emperor's right leg bone is one of the 6 regular soul bones reserved by Lin Rong. Lin Rong also has his own uses for the Blue-Silver Emperor's life seed. The 6th soul ring he had reserved was from the Blue-Silver King in the Blue-Silver Forest, which had a cultivation base of 85,000 years at that time. Lin Rong will be able to extract the royal blood contained in the Blue-Silver Emperor's life seed for the Blue-Silver King to absorb. The stronger the Blue-Silver King's foundation and bloodline, the higher the quality of his 6th soul ring is for the remaining rabbit that had transformed 100,000 years ago. Its spirit rings and spirit bones had enough age, but the quality was too poor, and the properties did not match his martial spirit, so Lin Rong did not even think highly of it. Unfortunately, Grandpa Yu's spirit ring slot is full, so the 100,000-year spirit ring can only be absorbed by others, but the 100,000-year soul bone can be left to Grandpa Yu. In this way, Grandpa Yu's 6 regular soul bones are all collected. The 3 inherited soul bones of the Xiaotian sect are located in the right arm, and left leg. 4 years later, the wisdom skull that condensed the spirit was won at the Continental Advanced Soul Master Elite Competition. The 100,000-year-old soft bone rabbit soul bone, whose position can be determined according to one's wishes, plus the torso bone that the old butler already has, makes up just enough to fill up 6 soul bones in different positions. Among the 6 soul bones, 2 are 100,000-year-old soul bones, and 4 are more than 50,000 years old in the original novel, apart from Tang San, who is a wall hanger. Only Bibi Dong and Jin Ringsu's soul bone configurations are more luxurious than this one. Of course, this is based on the fact that the soul bones of Tang Chen, Poseidon, and Jin Daoliu are unknown among them. Tang Chen was buried by Poseidon after his death, the condition of his soul bones was unknown, and the age of his soul bones was unknown. But judging from the 3 inherited soul bones that Tang Chen left to the Xiaotian sect, he must have full soul bones. and each one is over 50,000 years old. The only thing that is uncertain is whether there are any 100,000-year soul bones among these 6 soul bones. Secondly, Jin Daoliu has at least one soul bone, which is the piece of angel divine armor that Jin Daoliu left behind when he sacrificed himself. When Jin Ringsu finally entered the inheritance of the divine throne, there are no other soul bones besides these, so Jin Daoliu most likely only has this one soul bone. The last one is Poseidon. When Tang San entered the divine inheritance, she didn't have even a soul bone left. She is most likely the only one among the 3 peerless Douluo who does not have a soul bone. End of this chapter. Chapter 91 Peacock Feathers. It has been decided that the 100,000-year soul bone will be given to the old butler, but the ownership of the 100,000-year soul ring has not yet been decided because the soul ring can only exist for 1 hour after it is condensed. Therefore, if you want the old butler to absorb the 100,000-year soul bone, you must first decide on the person who will absorb the 100,000-year soul ring. In the original novel, the 2 major soul skills of the 100,000-year soul ring are void and explosive 8-section throw, but that was the result of Xiao Wu's soul's active intervention. Without Xiao Wu's soul's active intervention, the 2 soul skills born from the 100,000-year soul ring should return to normal. They are soul skills that are randomly born after the soul ring and martial soul are combined, but even so, this spirit ring is still not suitable for Ma Hongjun to absorb. Each soul ring of the fire phoenix martial soul must be taken from a flying soul beast with phoenix blood. This is the only way to tap into Ma Hongjun's own potential to the greatest extent, but apart from Ma Hongjun, I really can't find anyone suitable to absorb this spirit ring at the moment. In the absence of a 100,000-year soul beast sacrifice, normally only a level 90 soul master is qualified to absorb a 100,000-year soul ring. This harsh condition immediately eliminated 99% of the candidates who wanted to absorb spirit rings. We still have too few people at hand, so let's take it one step at a time. Soon, several hours passed. The sun sets and dusk covers the earth. Lin Rong did not act in a hurry, but waited until midnight. The southern area of Xiandao City under the cover of night, a ghostly figure like a ghost walked through the streets and alleys at this moment. It was late at night and the Tang clan was quiet. Almost all members of the Li clan fell asleep. Normally, a sect needs a patrol team to patrol this sect at night. More than a year ago, when the Li, Yu and Min clans were all present, patrolling was entrusted to the Min clan, but now, the Min clan has been wiped out, and the Yu clan has also parted ways with the Tang clan. Things have changed and people have changed, and the Tang clan is now left with only the Li clan. The members of the Power clan not only have to deal with various trivial matters such as cultivation during the day, but also have to complete the huge forging tasks. Every day I was already exhausted after a day's work, and when night fell, I basically fell asleep as soon as I got into bed. Without any hesitation, they were too lazy to care about the sect patrols or anything like that. In an alley somewhere in the south of Xiandao City, Lin Rong appeared in a black robe. This distance is enough. I can already sense the green leaf mark on Lu Gao's hair. Now, Lin Rong has 5 soul rings, and the maximum teleportation distance of the second soul ring has exceeded 6 kilometers. He can teleport directly from outside the Tang sect to the exclusive forging room on the high floor. Unlike the last time we went to the treasury to steal treasures, we need to replace the things that were replaced in the space to kidnap Lu Gao. This time, we just need to knock him out and take him away. Therefore, this time Lin Rong did not release the 9-curved vine dragon to cooperate with his actions, but directly triggered the green leaf mark on Lu Gao's hair, and the whole person disappeared on the spot. Tang sect, Lu Gao's exclusive forging room. The soul guide lights on the ceiling illuminate the place as if it were daytime. There were no windows in the room, only ventilation holes hidden in the dark, making it difficult for people inside to distinguish between day and night. It was already late at night, but the sound of hammers forging metal still rang out in this forge room. Lu Gao, who was immersed in forging, didn't notice at all that a person suddenly appeared behind him. After a flash of silver light appeared in his messy short hair, Lin Rong looked at the building and didn't notice anything unusual about its height, and sighed in his heart, as expected of someone who values forging more than life. Even 007 in the previous life couldn't beat you. Afterwards, without saying a word, Lin Rong concentrated his soul power on his hands and knocked the unsuspecting Lu Gao unconscious with a single blow. After temporarily putting Lu Gao into the Ruyi treasure bag he got from Dugubo, Lin Rong looked around the entire forging room. There are so many rare metals. I'm afraid that more than half of the Tang sect's stock of rare metals is stored here. After Lin Rong took these rare metals away, he walked to the forging table, picked up the forged hidden weapon parts on the table and looked at them carefully. This unique dark pattern? Could it be, as his mind moved, these hidden weapon parts pieced together into an incomplete cylinder in the air, and the dark patterns on those hidden weapon parts vaguely formed a peacock? Sure enough, the third hidden weapon of the Tang sect is the peacock feather. 90% of the parts for this peacock feather have been completed. We only need a few more pieces to complete it. Thinking of this, Lin Rong turned his gaze to the forging table and the piece of metal that Lu Gao was forging just now. The unique black lines on the metal allow even an amateur like Lin Rong to recognize the type of metal at a glance. It's definitely black iron. It seems that Lu Gao was just forging the last few hidden weapon parts of the peacock feather. I didn't expect that after I got both of the plate crystal and hair crystal, Tang San could also gather the large number of dragon beard needles needed for peacock feather. It is most likely Lu Gao's own collection. After all, although plate crystal and hair crystal are rare once in 1,000 years, a single hair crystal is just rare. It is not difficult for Lu Gao to obtain it with his status in the Blacksmith Association. I just don't know if Lu Gao forged it on his own initiative because he was excited about the opportunity, or if Tang San asked him to forge it for some purpose. It's possible that it's both, but since I caught you, I'll accept it without hesitation. After we go back and subdue Lu Gao, we must quickly ask him to forge the remaining parts. Lin Rong was in a very good mood. He came here to take away a person from Lu Gao, but he didn't expect to get an unexpected surprise. The power of the peacock feather is if it hits a soul master head-on, soul saints and soul masters below the soul saint level will undoubtedly die. Soul Douluo will be either dead or disabled, and even titled Douluo will be seriously injured if he is not prepared in time. Such a powerful weapon, and both the hidden weapon blueprint and forging materials were made by Tang San. If Tang Hao is not allowed to personally taste the power of the peacock feather, wouldn't it be a waste of Tang San's kindness? The only pity is that this peacock feather was not forged by Tang San himself. So Tang Hao cannot feel the warmth made by Tang San himself after collecting the parts of the peacock feather and looking at the empty forging room to confirm that nothing valuable was left out. Lin Rong triggered the green leaf mark left in the alley and left Tang Clan, the master's bedroom. On the bed, Tang San, who was practicing Zhuan, had a bad premonition for some reason. Again, he came once at the last royal court dinner, but nothing happened. Will this ominous premonition be the same as last time, with nothing happening? After pausing for a moment, Tang San quickly put this ominous premonition behind him. Now that Titan has not returned yet, Lu Gao is the only one left to forge the top-level hidden weapons. He has to go and see if Lu Gao is still there early tomorrow morning so that he can feel at ease. End of this chapter. Chapter 92. Some are happy and some are sad. The night passed at the hour of Mao. The sun had just risen from the east on the roof. Tang San activated the purple demon pupil to absorb the purple energy of the morning glow brought by the first sun, and then hurried to the door of the forging room that was located in the upper part of the building. According to Lu Gao's request, he needed a quiet environment without being disturbed by others when forging. Therefore, once this forging room is locked from the inside, it can only be opened by the mechanism button inside the forging room. Moreover, the sound insulation effect of this forging room is excellent. No one outside can hear the noise coming from inside the forging room, and no one inside can hear the noise coming from the outside. However, I am the leader of the Tang sect. How could there be a place in the Tang sect that I cannot enter? Tang San approached the wall of the forging room, clenched his right fist and knocked on the wall a few times in a regular rhythm. Then, with a subtle sound, an underground secret passage slowly appeared in the corner of the wall. Seeing the secret passage appear, Tang San walked down the stairs. About 2 minutes later, Tang San walked to the end of the secret passage, quietly pushed away the brick above his head, and crawled out from under the carpet. Strange, why is the forging so quiet? Elder Lu Gao actually takes a break. As soon as he came in, Tang San realized something was wrong. He didn't care about the risk of exposing the secret passage and hurried to the forging table. What came into view was an empty scene. The people who should have been here, and the rare metals that should have been piled up here, were all gone. Tang San was petrified instantly when he saw this scene, feeling that his dream of revitalizing the Tang sect was shattered. What is this? The cold-hearted iron essence. In the Lin family manner, Lu Gao was sticking his entire body to a piece of black ore more than 1 meter high, his eyes filled with extreme fanaticism. No doubt about it, this is the frosted iron essence, which weighs several hundred kilograms. Ahahaha. I can continue forging the Buddha's Wrath Lotus again. After a long time, The enthusiasm in Lu Gao's eyes faded a little. He turned his head to look at Lin Rong, who was sitting next to him and drinking tea, and asked urgently, "Sir, you can get such a large piece of cold iron essence. Do you have the deep sea silver? As long as you can get the deep sea silver, I promise I can make the rainstorm pear blossom needle." Lu Gao's tone was full of confidence, which made Lin Rong feel the urge to hand over the deep sea sunken silver in his hand to Lu Gao, but Lin Rong still suppressed the impulse in his heart, put down the teacup in his hand, and asked Lu Gao, "You're overthinking it. As the president of the Blacksmith Association, you've never heard of deep sea silver in metal before. As an outsider, I have never even heard of it, so how can I possibly get this thing?" After hearing this, Lu Gao did not show any obvious disappointment on his face because he also understood this truth. Before learning about the torrential pear blossom needles, he, the president of the Blacksmiths Association, had never even heard of the name of deep sea sunken silver. If the hidden weapon blueprint of the torrential pear blossom needle did not seem to be forged, Lu Gao would have doubted whether such a metal as deep sea silver existed in the world. One of the three ultimate hidden weapons of the Tang clan, he had successfully crafted the Buddha's Wrath Lotus, and was about to complete the forging of the peacock feather. However, due to the lack of deep sea silver, the mystery of the rainbow pear blossom needle has never been revealed. The reason why he asked this just now was that he wanted to give it a try. If Lin Rong has it, then he will have no regrets. "Sir, I still need to forge the remaining parts of the peacock feather, so I'll take my leave first." Before he finished speaking, Lu Gao put away the piece of chilling iron essence and left the house in a hurry. Seeing this, Lin Rong didn't say anything. After all, that's Lu Gao's personality, and he treats everyone the same way. Besides, as a genius, everyone has his or her own little temper. After Lu Gao walked for a while, Lin Rong took out an inconspicuous piece of gray ore and murmured, "I have deep sea silver, but for the greater good, I can't give it to you." Lin Rong had his reasons for not giving the deep sea sunken silver in his hand to Lu Gao, not to mention the toughness of deep sea silver is so high that among the people of this world, only the three people from the Xiaotian sect are capable of tempering it. Moreover, among these three, Tang Xiao is dead, Tang Hao is seriously injured, and Tang Chen has also fallen and lost himself in the city of slaughter. At this stage, no one has been able to successfully refine this deep sea silver. Second, deep sea silver is the material used to forge the torrential pear blossom needle. When the hidden weapon is taking shape, the forger's blood and energy must be used to activate the sharpness contained in the deep sea silver before it can be truly forged. In the original novel, Lu Gao was sacrificed for the Bao'an needle and ended up with no remains left. Lin Rong didn't want Lu Gao to get himself killed again after he took out the deep sea sunken silver in his hand for a force. A living master craftsman, Lu Gao is far more valuable than a consumable, disposable hidden weapon. Even if this hidden weapon is as powerful as the torrential pear blossom needles, its value is far less than that of the building. As long as Lu Gao is alive, he can continuously forge Buddha's Wrath Lotus and peacock feathers as long as he has enough time and materials. The value of this alone far exceeds that of a rain of pear blossom needles that would require Lu Gao's own life in exchange. What's more, the value of a building's height is far more than that. By leveraging Lu Gao's connections and reputation in the Blacksmith Association, he was able to secretly build a complete hidden weapon production team in the shortest possible time. This is where Lu Gao's greatest value lies. Having said that, Lu Gao is indeed a tall man. As long as he can get something that moves him, he will do it without any pretense, no matter how well the people in the past treated him. As soon as I took out the frosted iron essence, he abandoned the Tang sect without any hesitation, even without my asking. This kind of person is easy to use and handy. He can complete tasks in excess without being told, but such a person will never be able to completely control him and bring him back to his heart. Fortunately, my price is high enough. Unless Tang San goes to Sea God Island to snatch those deep sea silver pillars, he won't be able to produce something that will tempt Lu Gao. Lin Rong felt relieved about this. At present, Tang San does not know the existence of Sea God Island. Even if he knew, if Tang San dared to do so, Poseidon would immediately let him know what the consequences of blaspheming Sea God would be. Lin Rong put away the deep sea silver in his hand, walked to the window, looked in a certain direction, and thought, there's no news from Yuan yet. I wonder if Tang Yuho has learned about his brother's death. Logically speaking, the aftermath of the battle in the Xingdao Great Forest affected such a large area, and the spirit masters coming in and out should have discovered traces of the battle there. Although the bodies there have been destroyed, it is basically certain that such a huge battle scene was at least a contra-level battle. Others didn't know what was going on, But when the news reached Tang Yuhu's ears, even if she didn't want to believe it, she had to accept the fact that Tang Xiao is dead. It's just that the news is closed in this era. It's unknown when the news will reach Xiandao City. It depends on how long Tang Yuhu can endure before she can no longer hold back and send people to look for news about her eldest brother. In Lin Rong's heart, he still hoped that Tang Yuhu could send someone to look for news about Tang Xiao as soon as possible. The sooner he solves these problems, the sooner he can get the things from Tang Hao. End of this chapter. Chapter 93. Everything is ready. Time flies, and it passes in a flash. 7 days later, temporary forging room. The last part of the peacock feather was cast under the forging hammer high up in the building. After the forging was completed, Lu Gao closed his eyes, and he was already confident in the assembly of the peacock feather. I saw him moving back and forth quickly with one hand. After 2 or 3 seconds, a cylinder with peacock patterns and about 1 foot long appeared in Lu Gao's hand. It's really beautiful. Just like the Buddha's wrath lotus, both are so exquisite. It's a pity that without the deep sea silver, I will never be able to see the beauty of the rainstorm pear blossom needles in this life. Lu Gao felt only a little regretful about this, and after a sigh, he left the forging room with the assembled peacock feather in his hand and went to where Lin Rong was to deliver it in the courtyard. Under the bamboo pavilion, Lin Rong was trying to practice the exploding ring. Among the 5 soul rings on his body, the surface of the first dark yellow soul ring was faintly covered with tiny cracks. This explosive ring sounds so mysterious, but it doesn't seem that difficult to practice, at least not for me. At this moment, the state of Lin Rong's first soul ring was at the critical point of exploding. He can make the explosion happen with just a thought through the tiny cracks on the surface of the soul ring. Lin Rong easily sensed that the power contained in the soul ring had become extremely violent under the effect of the ring explosion. At this moment, the state of the soul ring was like a dam that was about to burst. Once that critical point is crossed, the power contained in the soul ring will pour out like a flood after a dam breaks. The lifespan of the first soul ring is 525 years, and the power contained in the soul ring burst out instantly. From what I perceive, it does not exceed the upper limit of my body's tolerance. Try the other 4 spirit rings. As Lin Rong thought about this, pure life energy poured into the first soul ring. After about 5 or 6 minutes, the tiny cracks on the surface of the soul ring were repaired. The power contained in the soul ring gradually became less violent and soon returned to normal. After the first soul ring was repaired, Lin Rong used the secret technique of the ring explosion to apply soul power to the second soul ring. Repeat this process in about an hour. The 5 spirit rings had completed the first 90% of the steps to explode the spirit rings, and Lin Rong also came to the conclusion he wanted. When the spirit rings are used one by one to explode, only the power contained in the 5th spirit ring exceeds the limit of what I can currently bear. If multiple spirit rings are detonated at the same time, the detonation of the first 3 spirit rings together is far from reaching the limit of what the body can bear, but with the addition of the 4th spirit ring, it exceeds the limit of what the body can bear. However, once I obtain the blue-silver emperor's right leg bone and absorb it, these problems will be solved. At this time, Lin Rong sensed that Lu Gao was approaching, so he stopped practicing and waited for Lu Gao's arrival. Lu Gao walked quickly and soon arrived in front of Lin Rong. "Sir, this is the peacock feather." As he spoke, Lu Gao presented the cylinder with peacock patterns on it with both hands. Seeing this, the 9-bend vine dragon wandering in the courtyard picked up the thing in Lu Gao's hand and put it on the table in front of Lin Rong. "Well, thank you for your hard work these days." Lin Rong knew Lu Gao's temper, so he didn't say anything polite. He waved his hand, and thousands of golden lights flashed through the air and hovered in front of Lu Gao. "What are these?" "Dragon beard needles." Lu Gao looked at the thousands of golden particles floating in front of him with a somewhat surprised expression. "There are so many of them. Could it be that you have plate crystals or hair crystals?" As he spoke, Lu Gao happily collected all the dragon beard needles without leaving a single one. Then he glanced at the string of jade beads on Lin Rong's wrist, wondering how many treasures were left in the soul guide. Hearing Lu Gao's question, Lin Rong did not hide it from Lu Gao and said directly, "I still have a lot of dragon beard needles here. If you need them, just go ahead and use them. Come back to me for more when you're done." This made Lu Gao very excited. Among the Tang sect's hidden weapons, there are not many that require the use of dragon beard needles, but there are quite a few. Dragon beard needles are rare, and if there are 7 or 8 of them in an ordinary hair crystal, it is already a top-quality hair crystal. Only the plate crystal and hair crystal, which are rare once in a million years, can produce thousands of dragon beard needles. Lu Gao had never obtained plate crystal or hair crystal, so he didn't have many dragon beard needles in his hand. Among them, half of the stock of dragon beard needles was claimed by Tang Sen, and the remaining half was almost consumed in the production of peacock feathers. Now that he has so many dragon beard needles, he can study the hidden weapons that require the use of dragon beard needles. After Lu Gao left, Lin Rong turned his gaze to the cylinder with peacock patterns on the table. It's a very ingenious design. It's truly a miracle of human wisdom. The Tang sect is the Tang sect, and Tang Sen is Tang Sen. The two cannot be confused. In particular, what Lin Rong was referring to was the Tang sect where Tang Sen was in his previous life, not the Tang sect founded by Tang Sen in this world. The third hidden weapon of the Tang sect is the peacock feather. There are 365 needle-shaped hidden weapons of 12 different categories hidden inside. If fired at once, they can instantly cover an area of 10 square meters. Due to the extremely fast firing speed, almost no one can dodge within the effective range of the peacock feather, so it is known as the place where even ghosts and gods cannot escape. The 12 hidden weapons inside the peacock feather are divided into bone-piercing needle, thunder and fire needle, armor-piercing needle, blade-splitting needle, demon-suppressing needle, overlord needle, underworld needle, dragon-breaking needle, desire-extinguishing needle, dragon whisker needle, meteorite annihilating needle, and 7 killing needles. Among them, the dragon beard needle, one of the 12 hidden weapons, is the 10th mechanical hidden weapon. If taken out alone, the other 11 hidden weapons can be assembled into the peacock feather together with the dragon beard needle, and the power should not be underestimated. Practice is the only criterion for testing truth. No matter how miraculous the hidden weapon blueprints are, it is better to test it yourself. Tang Hao is now seriously injured and it is difficult to recover. His normal strength is only at the threshold level of tidal Douluo. If the peacock feather is able to kill Tang Hao instantly in a sneak attack, it deserves the reputation of being the mechanical hidden weapon with the highest single target burst damage. Lin Rong put away the cylinder on the table and waited quietly for that day to come, but Lin Rong didn't expect that the wait would last for 2 months. It was not until a month after Tang Yuho returned to Xiandao City that he finally received the exact news of Tang Xiao's death. It took nearly another month to deliver the message to Tang Hao. According to the speed of the spine-tailed swift, it takes 3 days to travel from Nottingham to Xiandao. Therefore, when Lin Rong received the news that Tang Hao had left the Holy Soul village, Tang Hao was already on his way to Xiandao City. After waiting for so long, I finally got it. Lin Rong was unsure of Tang Hao's speed, so as soon as he received the news, he took the old butler to ambush Tang Hao on the road he had to take. It was a canyon 500 kilometers away from Xiandao City, an excellent place for an ambush. Lin Rong and the old butler waited here for 7 days before the real owner showed up. End of this chapter. Chapter 94. Peacock spreads its tail. It was dusk. The sun disappeared into the dark horizon, but the last ray of light still remained to illuminate the earth. A black shadow quickly shuttled through the gloomy mountains and forests, like a gust of black mountain wind passing by, so fast that it was impossible to distinguish what a black shadow looked like. The black shadow quickly rushed out of the forest and arrived at a long and narrow canyon. It's almost there. After passing through this narrow strip of sky, I am only 500 kilometers away from Xiandao City. I will be able to reach Xiandao City late tonight. Tang Hao thought so in his heart, without slowing down his pace at all, and plunged into the canyon in front of him. In the narrow passage that could only accommodate one person, Tang Hao turned into a black afterimage and flew through it, and the rocks on both sides quickly retreated. The excitement of meeting his relatives soon made Tang Hao's brain active, and he began to think about the whole process of these things. Yu only mentioned the news of my eldest brother's death in the letter, but did not mention the specific cause of my eldest brother's death. What happened? 3 years ago, Yu wrote to tell me that Big Brother had broken through to level 96. In this vast world, there are only a few people who can take Big Brother's life. Could it be that the one from the spirit hall took action? But Tang Hao's intuition told him that his eldest brother's death had nothing to do with Jin Daoliu. Jin's Unji has been dead for many years. If Jin Daoliu wanted to avenge his son's death, he would have done it back then, instead of waiting until now to kill someone to vent his anger. Moreover, Tang Hao once learned from his grandfather that although Jin Daoliu could not be considered a gentleman, he was definitely not someone who would vent his anger on others. He was the culprit who caused Jin's Unji to be seriously injured and die. Jin Daoliu had no reason to attack his elder brother at the same time. Once Jin Daoliu takes action, it is impossible for him to kill only his eldest brother, but he will uproot the entire Xiaotian sect. When I see you later. I will definitely ask her clearly. In just a short while, Tang Hao had walked 2/3 of the distance of the canyon. In another minute or two, he would reach the exit of the canyon. At the same time, at the canyon exit, 10 meters ahead, Lin Rong and the old butler hid in the void, quietly waiting for the moment when Tang Hao walked out of the canyon exit. When Lin Rong sensed that Tang Hao had walked into the other end of the canyon, he pressed the first button of the peacock feather in his hand to activate the hidden weapon. As a subtle sound was rang out, the 1-foot-long cylinder in Lin Rong's hand suddenly bloomed like a peacock spreading its tail. The 12 needle-type hidden weapons were loaded with a series of subtle sounds, ready to be used. As long as Lin Rong pressed another button, the power of the peacock feather could be unleashed at any time. In order to ensure a fatal blow, Lin Rong took out the snow swan kiss and extracted a few drops of juice essence to refine it into 12 needle-type hidden weapons. These 12 needle-type hidden weapons are already highly poisonous. Now that they have been added with the essence of the snow swan's kiss, it is no exaggeration to say that they are even more powerful than a tiger with wings. If I can't kill with one strike even with this, then I really need to re-evaluate whether this Tang sect hidden weapon is worth my time and effort. Lin Rong thought so in his mind and picked up the peacock feather in his hand and aimed it at the exit of the canyon. Time passes. Minute by minute, Tang Hao was getting closer and closer to the exit of the canyon. 100 meters, 50 meters, 20 meters, 1 meter. The moment Tang Hao stepped out of the canyon, Lin Rong took the initiative to cancel the state of nothingness and concealment, and pressed the launch button of the peacock feather at the same time. In an instant, 10 meters in front of the canyon exit, 365 needle-type hidden weapons bloomed in the air like a peacock spreading its tail, brilliant and dazzling. Not good. After all, Tang Hao was the man who had earned the title of God of Killing in the City of Slaughter. Even though he was seriously injured at the moment, his beast-like sharp reaction ability still triggered the crisis instincts engraved in his bones. Almost at the moment when the peacock feather was launched, without any hesitation, Tang Hao subconsciously released a clear sky hammer and made an instinctive defensive move. Ding ding. Some needle-type hidden weapons were blocked by the clear sky hammer, making a harsh metal collision sound, but most of the remaining needle-type hidden weapons all hit the target without exception. All of a sudden, hundreds of dense dark red blood mists burst out from Tang Hao's sturdy and strong body. More than 10 dragon whisker needles curled up Tang Hao's muscles, more than 10 bone-piercing needles pierced Tang Hao's bones, and more than 10 lightning and fire needles exploded Tang Hao's flesh and blood. The juice essence of the snow swan kisses attached to these needle-type hidden weapons also quickly penetrated into every part of Tang Hao's body. All the poisonous substances in Tang Hao's body continued to grow and develop under the medicinal power of the snow swan kiss, constantly corroding his already broken body. The injuries that had been suppressed by the strong soul power for many years suddenly erupted at this moment. Before Tang Hao could even see the two figures that appeared 10 meters away, he suddenly felt a black screen in his eyes and fell to the ground. Losing consciousness, Lin Rong looked down at Tang Hao, who was still breathing on the ground, and thought to himself, "You're still alive, are you a cockroach?" Although I know that Tang Hao won't be able to hold on for long, but Lin Rong knew that delay would lead to unexpected events, so he decisively took action to finish off Tang Hao and snuffed out his last breath. At this moment, on the horizon, the last ray of sunlight sank to the end of the sky, as if burning out the last flame of life. At the same moment Tang Hao died. Tangman, the blood induction from this body made Tang San feel a palpitation and discomfort. 2 lines of tears flowed down inadvertently, wetting his clothes. A sadness from deep within his heart kept surging in Tang San's heart, and bitter tears instantly filled his heart. Why? Why do I feel sad? Tang San had never experienced this kind of feeling in his past life or this life. He wanted to control this sadness in his heart, but he simply couldn't do it. Every time he tried to do so, it seemed as if another consciousness deep in his heart was resisting him fiercely. At the depth of his emotions, Tang San also vaguely felt that he had lost control of this body, and was so sad that he could not control himself. This feeling of losing control made Tang San feel terrified. He once thought that the consciousness that was supposed to be born in this body had revived and wanted to seize control of this body. Fortunately, this situation did not last long. About 5 or 6 minutes later, the real sadness that came from the blood gradually slowed down and soon disappeared completely. The expected situation did not happen, and Tang San's frightened mood gradually calmed down. As an orphan adopted by the Tang clan since childhood, there was no knowledge about blood sensing in the killer training. Therefore, Tang San did not associate the sadness that just surged in his heart with the father of this body. The condition that just occurred in my body actually caused one of the 8 extraordinary meridians, the Yang Wei meridian, to become slightly loose. I must strike while the iron is hot and take this opportunity to open it up. Tang San, who had taken back the control of his body, unexpectedly discovered that the bottleneck of the Yangwei meridian had loosened while checking his own condition. Such an unexpected surprise left Tang San no time to think about why his body was in that situation just now. Instead, he focused all his attention on practicing Zhuan, summoning all his soul power to clear the loosened Yangwei meridian. End of this chapter. Chapter 95 Great Harvest. A line of Sky Canyon. When Tang Hao died, his body was quickly corroded and dissolved by various poisons, leaving behind only 2 soul guides of extraordinary quality and 6 soul bones emitting powerful energy fluctuations. The pressure released by the 6 10,000-year soul bones together is enough to suppress an ordinary soul emperor and make him unable to move. However, the pressure released by these 6 soul bones was all blocked by the old butler and did not affect Lin Rong. The soul bones are fine, but these 2 soul guides were not damaged at all in the poison. It seems that their quality is no worse than Yu Ziyagang's jade belt. Under the influence of Lin Rong's thought, these 8 things were suspended in the air. The water vapor and the air condensed together to form clean water to wash away the remaining venom on these 8 things. After cleaning, Lin Rong skipped the 6 soul bones and checked the 2 soul guides first. These 2 soul guides are of different styles. One is an obsidian ring with the pattern of the Clear Sky hammer engraved on it. It should be a soul guide passed down by the Clear Sky sect. The other one is a coral pendant, which doesn't seem to be anything special whether it is an obsidian ring or a coral pendant. They are both top-level soul guides that can store living things. The 100,000-year-old transformed soul beast was imprisoned in a coral stone pendant by Tang Hao. Lin Rong used his spiritual power to probe inside and saw Xiao Wu, who was pale and thin and had fainted from hunger. It seems that Tang Hao was in a hurry to travel and had no time to feed the rabbit in the past 10 days. Forget it. Anyway, as long as this rabbit has not reached maturity, it is not a real human being. With 100,000 years of training, it will not starve to death. In addition to the rabbit, this coral stone pendant also contains some trivial women's items. Lin Rong estimated that this soul guide should be something used by Tang San's mother when she was alive. The other obsidian ring has a much wider variety of items inside. Among them, there are several books suspected to be left by Tang Chen, which are about the cultivation experience of Clear Sky Hammer, Clear Sky 9 Wonders, and Great Sumeru Hammer. As expected of Tang Chen's favorite grandson, this wealth is worthy of Tang Hao's status as the young master of the former #1 sect in the world. After inspecting the 2 soul guides, Lin Rong then turned his gaze to the 6 soul bones floating nearby, sensing their age. Skull, 47,000 years old. Trunk bones, 78,000 years. Right arm bone, 83,000 years old. Left arm bone, 44,000 years old. Left leg bone, 72,000 years old. Right leg bone, 57,000 years old. The youngest left arm bone is 44,000 years old. I don't know where Tang Hao got so many top-quality soul bones in this era when soul bones are scarce, but these are not important anymore. No matter how much Tang Hao gains, it will still be a bargain for me in the end. As he spoke, Lin Rong placed the 2 inherited soul bones of the Xiaotian sect among the 6 soul bones in front of the old butler without Lin Rong saying anything. The old butler understood and put the 2 soul bones away. There are still 4 10,000-year soul bones here, plus the 2 soul bones dropped by King Mu Twin Lotus. I have 6 soul bones at my disposal. I need to think carefully about how to best distribute these 6 soul bones. Lin Rong collected the 4 soul bones floating in the air, released the 9-curved vine dragon, and let it carry himself and the old butler towards the direction of the Holy Soul Village. Dragons are good at flying in the clouds and ignoring the terrain, which makes them much faster than Tang Hao traveling on the ground on his own 2 legs. Within 5 days, the 9-curved vine dragon carried them to the sky above the Holy Soul Village. Lin Rong stood on the dragon head, holding the parchment map he got from Tang Hao's soul guide, looking around for something. Waterfall, big waterfall. Oh, in that direction, above the clouds. Lin Rong saw from afar a huge torrent of water falling like clouds in the distance. The 9-curved vine dragon, which was in tune with Lin Rong's thoughts, immediately flew towards that place at full speed located above the clouds. It seems very close, but in fact it is quite far away. It took them more than half an hour to fly to that place. There are mountains all around here in the entire mountain range. Even the outermost mountains are towering into the clouds, and each mountain is extremely steep, almost vertical at 90 degrees. In the original novel, Tang Hao and Tang San spent half a day crossing countless mountains before they got from outside the mountains to the waterfall valley deep in the mountains. One can imagine how far the distance is from the outer edge of the mountain range to the waterfall valley. This is true. It's not that easy to find a place for Tang Hao to settle his wife. This mountain range is steep and rugged. Without flying spirit skills, one needs at least the cultivation level of a spirit saint to climb over these steep cliffs. Besides, the mountain range is so large that you can't even hear the roar of the waterfall from the outskirts of the mountain range. How can outsiders find that valley? What? Do you mean you can run to that valley and steal the Blue Silver Emperor's soul bone at level 10 or 20? Isn't that just a lie? Lin Rong was complaining in his heart, but the 9-bend vine dragon had already carried him and the old butler through layers of clouds and mist and arrived at the valley. The roar of the Xiaotian waterfall is deafening. The cave entrance is over there. Lin Rong sensed the location of the blue silver grass in the cave and directly locked onto the entrance to the cave hidden behind the waterfall without him saying a word. The old butler had already taken action and used his soul power to protect the two of them. Then, the 9-bend vine dragon carried them towards a location in the waterfall. Boom! The rocks covering the entrance to the cave were smashed, and the 9-curved vine dragon successfully carried them into the cave behind the waterfall. Because the light was blocked by the waterfall, the cave was very dark. So dark that you couldn't see your hand in front of you at this time. Faint starlight appeared around the old butler, dispelling the darkness in the cave and revealing the environment here. Lin Rong and the old housekeeper continued walking inwards until they reached the top of the deepest part of the cave, where there was a stone chamber of about 10 square meters built by Tang Hao in a small mound in the center of the stone chamber. A blue silver grass with golden lines was growing quietly. The blue silver queen is here, so the 100,000-year soul bone is right there. Lin Rong stood next to the small mound and, based on the life breath of the blue silver grass, forcibly locked the location of the soul bone in the lead box. Suddenly, a bolt of green lightning struck somewhere on the top of the stone chamber with a ding sound. A black thing fell from the sky and landed at Lin Rong's feet. The broken lead box opened by itself, and the crystal clear blue gold soul bone inside floated in front of Lin Rong. A gentle breath of life emanates from this blue gold soul bone, and golden starlight flickers in the soul bone, making it easy to see its extraordinary nature at a glance. Finally. Got it, my first 100,000-year soul bone. End of this chapter. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 96 Blue Silver Emperor. In the small mound, the blue silver grass with golden lines sensed the situation outside and slightly shook its blue and gold leaves in silent protest. In response to this, Lin Rong looked back at the small mound on the ground, as if he had sensed something, and thought to himself, is this regaining consciousness? Or is it just an instinctive reaction? But it doesn't matter. Whether or not I regain consciousness, it won't affect my ability to refine the imperial bloodline of the Blue Silver Grass clan. Before that, I need to absorb this soul bone first, so that I can refine the bloodline most completely. Thinking of this, Lin Rong said to the old butler beside him, Grandpa Yu, I'll let Xiaoqing protect us. You can also take this opportunity to absorb the 2 soul bones. The place where they were was behind the once hanging waterfall, which was both safe and hidden. With a 9-curved vine dragon as their guardian, their safety could be fully guaranteed. Therefore, the old butler did not say that he would protect him, but nodded silently, found a place to sit cross-legged in the stone chamber, took out the right arm bone, one of the 2 soul bones from the soul guide, and began to absorb it at one side. Lin Rong also found a place to sit cross-legged, and before he absorbed the soul bone, he gave some final instructions to the 9-curved vine dragon. Xiaoqing, take good care of this blue silver grass, but don't eat it. I still have a great use for it. Got it? As soon as he finished speaking, the 9-bend vine dragon showed a human-like expression and nodded obediently. The majestic dragon head actually looked somewhat cute. Seeing this, Lin Rong said no more. When the soul bone was attached to his right leg and before it began to absorb, he used telepathy to give a final instruction. Go ahead and play if you want, just don't kill the grass. 1 second later, the 9-bend vine dragon discovered that its master had entered a state of meditation. The well-behaved expression on its face instantly disappeared, and it flew above the small mound, looking like a curious baby in the small mound of earth. The blue silver grass sensed a faint dragon power emanating from the 9-curved vine dragon. The slender grass leaves trembled slightly, as if conveying an emotion of fear. The 9-curved vine dragon hovering in the air looked at the frightened expression of the blue silver grass and raised its dragon claw. A blue arc of electricity flashed at the tip of the claw, but soon, the 9-bend vine dragon remembered its master's instructions and controlled the electric arc on its dragon claws, reducing its power to less than 1/10 of its original power. The next moment, this weak arc of electricity fell on the leaves of the blue silver grass, and the air was suddenly filled with a fresh and burnt smell. An hour later, after Lin Rong absorbed the right leg bone of the blue silver emperor and opened his eyes, he saw the withered blue silver grass in the small mound not far away. The 9-curved vine dragon was hovering in the air, continuously injecting vitality to maintain the vitality of the blue silver grass. Seeing his master wake up, he immediately lowered the faucet guiltily. "It's okay, he's not dead yet, is he?" Seeing this, Lin Rong also spoke softly to comfort him. He glanced at the old housekeeper who was still absorbing the second left leg bone, and walked to the small mound. "Okay, there's no need to inject vitality into it. I will start to refine the royal blood in it now." As he spoke, Lin Rong circulated the Zisujing to enter the state of mind. At the same time, the innate field expanded, covering the blue silver grass in the small mound. The blue silver grass rooted in the small mound was pulled up into the air and suspended in mid-air. Immediately afterwards, a huge life force was injected into the body of the blue silver grass in an instant, and under Lin Rong's control, the life fire of the blue silver grass was ignited. The blue-gold flame of life is burning in the air, so beautiful and stunning that one can't help but admire and lament this desolate beauty. The blue silver grass melted bit by bit in the blue-gold flames, leaving behind drops of blue liquid that faintly emitted golden light. It takes about half a cup of tea. The blue silver grass burned out, the blue-gold flame dissipated, leaving 9 drops of transparent blue blood suspended in the air. Lin Rong took out a warm jade bottle that had been prepared long ago and carefully collected the 9 drops of blue blood. After collecting all the materials, Lin Rong put the cork in the bottle, weighed the jade bottle in his hand, and thought, "I absorbed this 100,000-year-old blue silver emperor soul bone. The remaining soul power on the soul bone allowed me to break through from level 56 to level 58. In about 4 months, I will be able to cultivate to level 60 and go to the blue silver forest to obtain the 6th soul ring. By then, these 9 drops of the blue silver grass clan's imperial bloodline will be able to play the role it should." 6 ring. Soul Emperor, the 6th soul ring, the last soul ring before the martial soul's true form. I'm really looking forward to it. This piece of blue silver emperor's right leg bone, as a 100,000-year soul bone, brought great benefits to Lin Rong as a top-level plant soul beast. The blue silver emperor produces soul bones with the attributes of wood and life. Its attributes are very consistent with the 9-curved vine dragon, which is also a top-level plant martial soul. Among the 4 soul bones that Lin Rong currently possesses, only the external soul bone, the banyan wood heart, is more compatible than the blue silver emperor's right leg bone. The extremely high degree of compatibility, coupled with the strength of the 9-curved vine dragon martial spirit itself, the 2 soul bone skills that Lin Rong has been endowed with by this 100,000-year-old blue silver emperor's right leg bone, are extremely effective, and are both similar and different to the 2 soul skills that Tang San obtained after absorbing this soul bone in the original novel. After Tang San absorbed the blue silver emperor's soul bone, the 2 soul skills he obtained were flying and healing. The healing spirit skill, to use the literary expression from the original novel, is wildfires cannot extinguish it, spring breezes will bring it back to life. After Lin Rong absorbed the right leg bone of the blue silver emperor, the 2 major soul skills he obtained were flying and healing. However, the effects of these 2 soul skills are far stronger than Tang San's 2 soul skills in the original work. Among them, after the flying soul skill is integrated with the 9-bend vine dragon martial soul, this soul bone soul skill should be called soaring in the clouds and driving the mists. Not only is its flying speed much faster than flying, it also has the ability to control clouds and rain. The healing spirit skills were also healing spirit skills that were used continuously at all times. Tang San's healing effect can only be clearly manifested in places where the blue silver grass is dense and lush. In places where there is no blue silver grass, the healing effect is so weak that it is almost non-existent. But Lin Rong's treatment is no longer limited to the blue silver grass, but can be effective on any plant. Unfortunately, among these 2 soul bone soul skills, the effect of the healing soul skill and the exclusive effect of the talent field can also be achieved by the life dragon soul. Therefore, this soul skill overlaps with the talent field in terms of function. It can only be regarded as icing on the cake. Lin Rong felt a little regretful about this 100,000-year-old blue-silver emperor's right leg bone, in addition to the 2 soul bone skills, greatly improves Lin Rong's physical fitness. This allowed him to finally use the ring explosion without restraint at the current stage, without having to worry about the problem of the power released by the ring explosion exceeding the limits of what his body could endure originally. This soul bone also had the function of expanding the meridians, but Lin Rong practiced the SYNOPSIS Sutra, and the meridians throughout his body had been nurtured to the most perfect state by the power of the SYNOPSIS Sutra in the womb. Therefore, the effect of blue-silver emperor's right leg bone in expanding the meridians was not reflected at all. Lin Rong put away the jade bottle, walked to the old butler and sat down, waiting quietly for the old butler to absorb the left leg bone. The old butler's soul power is as high as level 96, and he absorbs soul bones much faster than Lin Rong. Therefore, Lin Rong spent an hour absorbing a piece of soul bone. The old butler has already absorbed 1 soul bone and is almost done with the second one. End of this chapter. Chapter 97, Level 97. There are 2 soul bones. One is an 83,000-year-old right arm bone, and the other is a 72,000-year-old left leg bone, together with a 75,000-year-old left arm bone that the old butler had already absorbed. The 3 inherited soul bones of the Xiaotian sect are all over 70,000 years old. As 2 of the top 3 sects, the 7 treasures Glazed Tile sect and the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex sect, the gap between these 2 sects and the Xiaotian sect is really huge. However, without the 9 clears of Clear Sky and the Great Sumeru Hammer, the Clear Sky Hammer is just an ordinary top-level weapon spirit. Nothing special about it. The 7 treasures Glazed Pagoda spirit has the ability to identify treasures and the talent for a fusion. The Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex martial spirit can transform into a dragon by absorbing a dragon or sub-dragon soul beast. Even the 7 killing sword, which is also a top-level weapon spirit, has the ability to transform its spirit rings into sword stars. It can only be said that Tang Chen brought the Xiaotian sect to a height that did not belong to it. To use Iagang's words, there are no useless martial spirits in the world, only useless spirit masters. Are correct in a sense, but the biggest mistake in this sentence is that it should not have been said by a loser like Yu Ziagang. Lin Rong sat down and waited not long before the old butler completed absorbing the left leg bone. However, the old butler did not end his meditation state after absorbing the soul bone. On the contrary, a majestic and vast soul power was released from the old butler, and the wind pressure it brought frightened Lin Rong so much that he somersaulted several times in the air and leaned against the wall of the stone chamber. Grandpa, is he going to break through to level 97? Lin Rong quickly guessed the reason. A look of delight appeared on his face, and he thought to himself, according to the time, it has been more than 2 years since Grandpa Yu broke through to level 96. Grandpa Yu has already reached the peak of level 96 in terms of accumulated soul power, and he is only one opportunity away from breaking through to level 97. A breakthrough at this time is within expectations. Level 97. In the current timeline, Sword Douluo Chenzin has not yet broken through. Only the 3 priests of the Spirit Hall are at this level of soul power. In terms of soul power level alone, Grandpa Yu is already ranked 5th in the world, tied with the 3 priests of the Spirit Hall, Tang Chen, Poseidon, and Jindao Liu. 399 level Peerless Douluo, tied for first place. The 2nd priest of the Spirit Hall at level 98 ranks 4th. Going down, the soul power of level 97 can naturally be ranked 5th. In addition, BB Dong's soul power level during this period is unknown, so it is not included in the ranking. After half a ring, the old butler completed the process of soul power breakthrough and put away the soul power released outside with a breakthrough in soul power and 4 soul bones in his body. An unprecedented feeling of power surged in the old butler's heart. This made the old butler, who rarely smiled, reveal genuine joy on his face. Seeing this, Lin Rong also walked behind the old butler, lay on his back, and asked, Grandpa Yu, how many of your 8 extraordinary meridians have been opened up so far? 7 meridians. The old butler answered briefly, and then continued, when I broke through to the title Douluo level, I opened up the Chong, Dai, and Du meridians. In the past 2 years, with the meridian map you gave me, I have gradually opened up the Yin Qiao meridian and Yang Qiao meridian, and in the breakthrough just now, I took advantage of the opportunity of absorbing 2 soul bones to transform my body, and open up the Yin Wei meridian and Yang Wei meridian one after another. It's a pity that I was not able to open up the last of the 8 meridians in one go. Lin Rong listened to the old housekeeper's story and nodded secretly. Without an authentic cultivation method, Even if one knew the location of the 8 extraordinary meridians, it would still be extremely difficult to open up the 8 meridians by meditation and soul power alone. Even the old butler, who had a soul power of up to 96, had only opened up 2 of the 8 meridians in 2 years. This made Lin Rong think of the Zhuanshenguang. 2. Practice Zai Sui Jing after birth. One needs to have a solid foundation in Yu Jinjing, but Zhuan Tiangong is different. There are no restrictions and everyone can practice it. It seems that we have to find a way to pry the Zhuanshenguang out of Tang San's mouth. Although Zhuanshenguang is useless to me, it is useful to others under my command, especially Ma Hongjun. After acquiring Zhuanshenguang, his training speed should be able to increase a lot. However, speaking of Ma Hongjun, he should have broken through to level 40 by now, right? Forest Zhelong leaned against a big tree, looking at Ma Hongjun, who was absorbing the soul ring at this time. Ma Hongjun was only 10 years and 7 months old at such a young age. His soul power has broken through to level 40. Until now, Zhelong has witnessed Ma Hongjun absorbing the 4th soul ring with his own eyes, and he still feels a little bit unbelievable. This cultivation speed that went beyond common sense completely overturned his 3 views. Where on earth did Nephew Lin find such a monster? But speaking of it, when Nephew Lin came to Jialing Pass, his own cultivation was also at the level of a 3-ring soul master. Compared like this, Nephew Lin is not much inferior to the monster Hongjun, and he is 2 months younger than Hongjun, which makes him even more of a monster. Compared to these 2 monsters, I am only a soul saint of level 70 in my 40s. I have lived in vain for so many years. Are all the young soul masters cultivating so fast today? How long has it been since I left the world of soul masters? Could it be that I have fallen behind the times in my knowledge so quickly? Goran thought so and fell into deep self-doubt. However, when Zhelong glanced at Su Pen standing beside him, he finally felt a little more balanced. I can't compare to these 2 monsters, Lin Xiangxi and Hongjun, but I am still much stronger than this guy. I am not much different in age from this guy, but I have already cultivated to the soul saint level, while he is only a soul emperor. After a long time, Ma Hongjun absorbed the soul ring and ended his meditation. His 4th soul ring was taken from a 5,500-year-old fire-feathered bird, which was also a flying soul beast with the blood of the phoenix. After absorbing 4 soul rings of soul beasts with phoenix blood in succession, the phoenix flame of Ma Hongjun's fire phoenix martial soul underwent slight changes. After Ma Hongjun absorbed the phoenix Solosia, the originally purple-red phoenix flame was purified and turned into golden red, and now, the golden red phoenix flame is transforming into bright red. If you observe carefully, you will find that there are faint colorful lights emerging on the surface of the phoenix flame. If one day, the phoenix flame completely transforms into pure red and emits colorful light, this flame can be regarded as the colorful divine fire controlled by the phoenix. In order to achieve this goal, all of Ma Hongjun's 9 soul rings, without exception, must be taken from flying soul beasts with phoenix blood, and the phoenix blood contained in these flying soul beasts cannot be too low. In this way, when Ma Hongjun cultivates to the level of tidal Douluo, he will have hope of transforming the phoenix flame into the 7-color divine fire. End of this chapter. Chapter 98. Encirclement and Suppression of Xiaotian Sect, Assembly. Oh, Madam, you was seriously ill? How is the situation? As soon as Lin Rong returned to Xiandao City, he learned the news. Your Excellency. The attendant beside him replied, the specific situation is unknown, but I only know that Yuxun's court etiquette classes have been suspended, and the classes have not been resumed until now. Therefore, rumors are spreading that Madame Yu is very ill this time. Is he seriously ill? How could he not be seriously ill? After hearing this, Lin Rong quickly understood the reason she lost 2 brothers in succession in a short period of time, one of whom was the person she loved deeply. If Tang Yuho is a normal person, she would be too sad to fall ill. Lin Rong didn't take this matter to heart, and calmly instructed the attendant, pass my order and have Dugubo and Longguang and Shipo come to see me immediately. Yes, I understand. The attendant replied and retreated immediately. Half a day later, Manor House, reception room. Dugubo, Meng Shu and Zhao Xiangxiang gathered here, sitting on chairs waiting for Lin Rong to speak. 300 miles east of Xiandao City, there is a mountain range. Deep in this mountain range, the Xiaotian sect, once known as the world's #1 sect, is hidden away. Lin Rong's voice was steady and melodious, echoing in the huge reception room. His next words made the 3 of them look solemn. You all go back and prepare. Tomorrow, Go to that mountain with me to encircle and destroy the Xiaotian sect and cut off the inheritance of their Tang family, encircle and suppress the Xiaotian sect. These 5 words kept echoing in the minds of the 3 of them, and at one point they thought they had heard it wrong among the 3. Dugubo was the first to break the silence and asked the question on their minds. Sir, we are developing well, why do we suddenly want to encircle and suppress the Xiaotian sect? The Xiaotian sect has at least 5 soul Douluo elders, as well as Tang Hao and Tang Xiao, 2 titled Douluo brothers. It is not wise for us to confront the Xiaotian sect head-on now. Moreover, even if we want to encircle and suppress them, the time is too short. Moreover, if we go to encircle and suppress the Xiaotian sect with only a few people, aren't we too few in number? What's wrong? Lin Rong asked Dugubo in return. His majestic voice was mixed with soul power and mental power, and even with the might of a dragon, the mighty dragon power made the 3 people sitting on the chairs tremble with fear from the bottom of their hearts. This has nothing to do with strength. It is simply the absolute suppression of the upper martial spirit over the lower martial spirit. You are known as the world's #1 poison soul master. Can't you even clean up some trash? You have to know that apart from the 5 elders of the Xiaotian sect, the rest are just chickens and dogs. You don't need to deal with the 5 elders of the Xiaotian sect. You only need to deal with everyone else except the 5 elders of the Xiaotian sect. Is there a problem? Just need to take out some small fish? Dugubo's mind worked quickly, and he answered immediately after a roll of his eyes. Sir, you should have said it earlier. I don't care about anyone below Soul Douluo, no matter how many there are. As long as I use my life-threatening poison, they will all be finished. Dugubo had no problem. Meng Shu, who was sitting on the side, could not help but ask, Sir, have you forgotten the brothers Tang Hao and Tang Xiao? They are both titled Douluo. Our dragon and snake combined attack can barely fight against a titled Douluo. How can we take the lives of these 2 brothers? In response, Lin Rong smiled without commenting and said calmly, do you know why Tang Yuho suddenly became seriously ill? Meng Shu was confused by these words, but Dugubo understood something. His emerald green pupils instantly dilated, and he couldn't believe his own guess. But soon, Lin Rong's answer confirmed that his guess was correct. It was because her 2 brothers passed away that she became overly sad and became ill. How could 2 dead people appear on the list of personnel for this roundup? Seeing the unbelievable expressions of the dragon man and the snake woman, Lin Rong continued, this time, when we are going to siege the Xiaotian sect, my requirements for you 2 are not high. You only need to kill the 2 with the weakest cultivation among the 5 elders of the Xiaotian sect. Leave the remaining 4 elders to me and Yubo. After saying that, Lin Rong took out 3 soul bones in front of the 3 of them in order to let them use their best in the operation to encircle and suppress the Xiaotian sect tomorrow. Soul bone. 10,000-year soul bone. 3 exclamations sounded almost at the same time, and all eyes were fixed on the 3 dazzling soul bones floating in the air. Expressions of extreme desire were revealed on their faces, and they wished they could get the 3 soul bones immediately. These 3 10,000-year soul bones are your reward for participating in the suppression of Xiaotian sect this time. Seeing their appearance, Lin Rong said calmly, the 44,000-year-old left arm bone was taken from Tang Hao. It is a reward for you, Dugubo. The remaining 2 soul bones are both from the twin lotuses that are more than 33,000 years old. 1 left leg bone and 1 right leg bone, both from the same source, are the rewards for you and your wife. But Lin Rong said, and suddenly changed the subject, you 2 have a light mission, so whether you can get 1 or 2 soul bones depends on your performance in the encirclement and suppression battle tomorrow. Of the 2 of them, Meng Shu was the first to react. He turned his eyes away from the soul bone with difficulty and answered firmly, don't worry, my lord. In tomorrow's battle, my husband and I will do our best and will never let you down. The effect of the 3 10,000-year soul bones was very significant, and immediately made the 3 of them full of energy, which was also the effect that Lin Rong wanted. If you want the horse to run, you have to let it eat grass. He is not Bibi Dong, who doesn't even know the most basic way to control his subordinates and can only use force to force them. Okay, that's all for today. Go back and prepare well. Meet outside Xiandao City at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Don't be late. As he spoke, Lin Rong collected the 3 soul bones floating in the air and waved his hand to let the 3 of them leave first. After the 3 of them left, Lin Rong turned to the old housekeeper and said, Grandpa, you should also rest early. Tomorrow's battle to encircle and suppress the Xiaotian sect may not be easy. At this time, 1 or 2 of the 5 elders of Xiaotian sect may have broken through to the title Douluo. If they were desperate and fought with you, Grandpa Yu, they might still seriously injure you. Therefore, when we fight with those elders of Xiaotian sect tomorrow, Grandpa Yu, you must pay special attention to this and don't give them the opportunity to get close. The old butler listened quietly and replied with a gentle smile, "Don't worry, young master. I understand. It's getting late, young master. You should go to bed early. Also, it's autumn now, young master. Remember to cover yourself tightly with a quilt when you sleep at night, or you might catch a cold." "I understand, Grandpa Yu." Lin Rong replied somewhat helplessly, "It was just that I kicked off the quilt and caught a cold when I was a kid. It's been so long. You don't have to keep nagging me about it every autumn. Besides, since I awakened my martial spirit, when have you ever seen me catch a cold, young master? You can't say that." The old butler leaned over, reached out and touched his young master's head, and said in a gentle tone, "As the steward of the Duke's mansion, there are some things you may not care about, but I cannot ignore them." End of this chapter. Chapter 99, Encirclement and Suppression of Xiaotian Sect, Attacking the Mountain. On the second day, the sun rises at the hour of Mao outside the east gate of Xiandao City. When Lin Rong and the old housekeeper arrived here, Dugubo and Longgong and Shipo had already been waiting here for a long time. "Now that everyone is here, let's set off." After saying that, Lin Rong released the 9-bend vine dragon, which carried him and the old housekeeper to fly in one direction. Upon seeing this, Dugubo and the dragon man and the snake woman looked at each other, then used their soul power to follow closely behind the 9-bend vine dragon. Because there was no map of the location of the Xiaotian sect's mountain range in Tang Xiao's soul guide, Lin Rong could only learn the approximate location of the Xiaotian sect's mountain gate from the original book, but did not know where exactly it was. 300 miles east of Xiandao City. But for Lin Rong, with his life perception, as long as he knows the approximate location, he can find that place accurately. A distance of 300 miles is not very far for a high-level soul master in the original novel. The Shrek's 7 devils who were in their 20s could travel more than 400 kilometers in a day. It was only a distance of 300 miles, but it took them less than a quarter of an hour to reach their destination. Dugubo, Longgong, and Shipo looked at the small village in front of them and couldn't believe that this was the secluded place of Xiaotian sect. Among the three, Dugubo asked the questions that were in their minds. "Sir, are you sure we are in the right place?" "Of course." Lin Rong answered affirmatively, and then explained, "In a sect, there will always be some members who fail to inherit the sect's martial spirit and fail to awaken their innate spirit power. The villagers living in this village are just this kind of people, and the sect disciples who have awakened the clear sky hammer spirit all live in seclusion deep in this mountain range." Among the three, Longgong and Shipo understood this sentence the most, because their own families also had this situation. "Sir, since these villagers are also members of the Xiaotian sect, should we?" As Lord Long spoke, he made a gesture of wiping his neck. "Kill them all. Leave no one alive." Lin Rong's cold voice echoed around, "If you don't remove the roots, there will be endless troubles." Dugubo, they are also within your mission scope. It's your turn to take action, dragon man and snake woman. We will go up the mountain first. Dugubo, you can follow us after you are done. After saying that, Lin Rong signaled the dragon father and the snake mother to stand on the 9-curved vine dragon and took them straight into the sky, flying deep into the mountains. On the ground, Dugubo looked at their receding backs and set his gaze on the village in front of him. His emerald green pupils flashed with an eerie light. Like a poisonous snake, Dugubo walked leisurely into the village and bumped into several early rising villagers. One of them, a sturdy middle-aged man, said, "Who are you? Please leave immediately. We don't welcome outsiders here." As they said this, several villagers simultaneously tightened their grip on the farm tools in their hands, and a tense atmosphere filled the air around them. "Outsiders," Dugubo couldn't help but sneer when he heard this. "Is your name written on this place? What makes you say this is your territory, you?" The middle-aged man in the lead looked at Dugubo angrily, but could not say anything to refute. Seeing this, Dugubo continued, "I admire you very much. In all these years, you are the first ordinary person who dares to speak to me like this. In consideration of your ignorance and fearlessness, I will be magnanimous and grant you a quick death." Before he finished speaking, Dugubo appeared beside the middle-aged man and put his hand on his shoulder. The next moment, a cold soul power surged into the middle-aged man's body, shattering his heart meridians. That's enough. Dugubo pushed the middle-aged man who had already died to the ground, looked at the other villagers, and said to himself, I don't have time to play with you. Complete the mission as soon as possible and get the soul bone as soon as possible. The other side, the 9-curved vine dragon carried Lin Rong and the other 3 across the steep mountains and arrived above the 5th mountain, which is where the Xiaotian sect's main gate is located today. Along the way, the 9-curved vine dragon did not conceal its aura at all, and wantonly released its dragon power to announce its arrival to everyone in the Xiaotian sect. The mighty dragon power directly alarmed everyone in the Xiaotian sect, especially the 6 elders of the sect. They all ended their meditation and rushed to the mountain entrance as quickly as possible. How dare you? Who dares to invade our Xiaotian sect? Among the 5 elders, the 7th elder, who had the hottest temper, shouted loudly. At the same time, 8 spirit rings emerged, and he swung the clear sky hammer in his hand and smashed it down towards Lin Rong and the other 3. There was a loud bang. The clear sky hammer smashed into a starlight curtain and had no effect. HMPH. After his attack failed, the 7th elder felt a little embarrassed. He snorted coldly, stretched out his hand, and used his soul power to control the clear sky hammer back to his hand. Among the 5 elders, the 2nd elder, who was in the lead, felt depressed when he saw that the other party had blocked the attack from the 7th elder so easily. So, he signaled to old 7 not to act rashly, raised his head and looked at the people in the air and asked, Ladies and gentlemen, what brings you to my Xiaotian sect? In the air, Lin Rong stood on the head of the 9-curved vine dragon, looking down at the 5 old men on the ground, thinking, 2 level 91 title Douluo and 3 level 89 soul Douluo, which is about what I expected. After hearing what the white-browed old man said, Lin Rong didn't mind taking some time to explain. Someone from your Xiaotian sect wanted to kill me, so I had no choice but to kill him. Therefore, in order to prevent you from avenging him in the future, I will of course wipe out the entire Xiaotian sect. Hearing this, the 7th elder was immediately furious and said, What an arrogant boy. You destroyed our Xiaotian sect. Do you think you are the spirit hall? The other 3 elders were also furious, but the usually calm 2nd elder connected these words with Tang Xiao's disappearance. This made him feel very uneasy, and his long white eyebrows tightened together. The sect master has already reached level 96 in spirit power cultivation, and with the 9 absolutes of clear sky by his side, he can fight even if he meets a level 97 title Douluo, and since they were able to kill the sect master, one of them must be no less than level 96. They dared to come to my Xiaotian sect today. They must be sure to wipe out my entire Xiaotian sect. If it is really impossible to do anything, we can only preserve the sect's fire and let them retreat first. We old guys will hold off the enemy and buy them some time. With this in mind, the 2nd elder secretly communicated with the 3rd-generation chief disciples around him, asking them to be ready to lead the sect's elite troops to evacuate at any time. This was a voice transmission within the range of the heart mirror, so naturally Lin Rong heard the content of the voice transmission from the white-browed old man, and thought, it seems that not all the people in Xiaotian sect are reckless. There are still 1 or 2 smart people, and of this chapter, Chapter 100, Encirclement and Suppression of Xiaotian Sect, Chaotic Battle. Part, The life breath of those villagers in the village at the foot of the mountain has dissipated. The method is quite clean and efficient. As soon as Lin Rong heard the message from the 2nd elder of Xiaotian sect, he sensed Dugubo's aura quickly coming up the mountain with Dugubo's speed. It would only take a while for him to get here from the foot of the mountain. Therefore, Lin Rong no longer wasted time talking to this group of dying people, and simply ignored the words of the 7th elder of Xiaotian sect. The sky blue halo quickly spread out with Lin Rong as the center, covering the entire mountain below in an instant. What is this? God? In front of the cliff below, the 5 elders of Xiaotian sect had just reacted when a mighty dragon roar suddenly resounded through the clouds and wilderness. This is exactly the domain soul skill evil-breaking dragon roar. In order to ensure that this soul skill can control the 5 elders of Xiaotian sect for a moment, so that their side can gain the initiative to take action before performing this soul skill, Lin Rong used the effect of the life dragon soul to convert his soul power and vitality into mental power to the greatest extent. The power of the evil-breaking dragon roar depends on the strength of Lin Rong's own soul and mental power. The higher the quality of the soul and the stronger the mental power, the stronger the soul shock and mental impact caused by the evil-breaking dragon roar. Therefore, even though the 5 elders of Xiaotian sect had profound spiritual power, they could not avoid being absent-minded and dizzy for a moment under the dual attack of soul shock and mental impact. Seeing this opportunity, Lin Rong instantly transformed his soul power and vitality back. At the same time, the banyan tree body of the 9-curved vine dragon hidden in the void emerged, controlling a banyan tree root to sweep away, sweeping the 5 elders of the Xiaotian sect who were still under its control off the cliff. At this time, the 9-curved vine dragon also carried them down the cliff between the thick clouds. The feeling of weightlessness when falling downwards made the elders of Xiaotian sect quickly release their martial spirits, using their martial spirits as stepping stones to jump onto the cliffs and the protruding rocks. "What? You want to fight us here, Lin Rong?" asked Duke Lin to stop, and seeing their embarrassed appearance, he said, "Although I am the only one who can fly here, it is enough to control the air supremacy here. None of the 5 of you can fly. It's not a wise idea to engage in a fight here, since both of us are somewhat restricted here. Why not fight at the bottom of the cliff? So, do you want to go down to the bottom of the cliff obediently, or do you want me to beat you down on the cliff?" The second elder stopped the 7th elder from speaking in time, and wondered what Lin Rong was up to. "Although I don't know why the other party separated us old guys from the sect disciples, it is definitely not a good thing." The second elder just couldn't figure this out. By isolating the battlefield and without the sect disciples as a burden, they can fight with all their might, and the sect disciples also have ample time to evacuate. He didn't understand what the other party's intention was in doing this and what benefits it would bring at this time. The second elder's thinking fell into a misunderstanding. That is, he thought that the other party only had the 4 people on the green dragon, and they didn't know about Dugubo's existence. The purpose of Lin Rong doing this was to make these old guys from the Xiaotian sect mistakenly believe that their sect's disciples were safe when these old guys had this idea in their minds and were in desperate situations. The first thing they would consider was their own lives rather than the continuation of the sect's fire. With such thoughts in mind, they will not choose to fight desperately and die together at the first moment of the fight. After fighting for a while, they wanted to die together, but their own condition made it impossible for them to do so. In the end, under the pressure of the situation, the elders of Xiaotian sect chose a decent way and rushed to the bottom of the cliff by themselves. Seeing this, Lin Rong smiled calmly and let the 9-curved vine dragon continue to fly down. When both of them landed at the bottom of the cliff, Dugubo also arrived at the top of the cliff at the same time. To the fortress where the gate of Xiaotian sect was located, a feast of one-sided slaughter began. At the bottom of the cliff is a valley. In the valley, streams are turbulent and dense forests are overgrown. Lin Rong can absorb the life energy of these dense forest trees at any time to restore his own consumption, which is one of the reasons why he chose the battlefield here. After everyone landed, the battle started immediately. The old butler led the way and directly confronted the 2nd and 3rd elders, who had the highest cultivation among the 5 elders of the Xiaotian sect. Among the other 5 people, the 7th elder went directly to Lin Rong, intending to kill the little kid to vent his anger, and then consider other things. "Don't worry about me. The remaining 2 old men will be left to you and your wife." As Lin Rong spoke, the 9-bend vine dragon carried him and led the 7 elders of Xiaotian into the dense forest in the valley. The 4th and 5th elders of Xiaotian stopped the dragon lord and the snake lady from heading to the dense forest and said, "I have also heard of the great name of the peerless dragon snake. Today, I am able to witness the combined attack of the 2 of you." However, although they said this, their faces were solemn and they did not dare to show any contempt under normal circumstances. They would have been so confident of the power of the clear sky hammer and their own level 89 soul cultivation that they would never have taken a couple's soul fusion skills seriously. But that kid's damn talent field weakened all their attributes by 20%, and also amplified all the attributes of the dragon snake couple by 20%. As one side gains strength while the other loses strength, even with their pride, they have to take seriously the threat posed by the other side's spirit fusion technique. Old men, Shu and Zhao Xiangxian called out to each other, released their martial spirits in unison and held each other's hands. Meng Shu, who had reached the level of Soul Douluo, and Zhao Xiangxian, who had just recently broken through to the level of Soul Saint, had a total of 15 soul rings appearing on the martial soul fusion technique, dragon and snake combined attack. Immediately afterwards, a dazzling light flashed, and a giant dragon snake that looked like a snake but not a snake, and like a dragon but not a dragon appeared in front of the two elders of the Xiaotian sect. This was the first martial soul fusion technique that Zhao Xiangxiang performed with Meng Shu after taking the Longyuan Xianxi pill. The improvement in the quality of the snake staff martial spirit has taken its compatibility with the dragon staff martial spirit to a higher level. In addition, Zhao Xiangxiang's own soul power cultivation broke through from Soul Emperor to Soul Saint, making the power of the dragon and snake combined attack much stronger than before. At this moment, with a blessing of Lin Rong's innate talent, the couple felt an unprecedented powerful force. The clear sky hammer is known as the best weapon spirit in the world, and my husband and I have long wanted to see it for ourselves. We want to see whether this world's #1 weapon spirit is truly worthy of its title or just has an empty reputation. An androgynous voice came from the mouth of the giant dragon snake, and a soul power pressure far exceeding the soul Douluo level locked onto the 4th and 5th elders of Xiaotian. At this moment, in Longshi's eyes, the two old men in front of him were not elders of the Xiaotian sect, but 2,000-year-old soul bones that could fly away at any time. My Lord has made it very clear that these two old guys are our targets. Whether we can get the two soul bones in the master's hand depends on whether we can deal with these two old guys. End of this chapter. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.